Dude.
Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live and back at it again. We are the Wrestling for Life Network. It is Wednesday, so you know what that means. It means we're back with another AEW Dynamite live stream. The channel that just covers more live wrestling than anybody else out there and doing it on another level, folks. We thank you for joining us. It's going to be a fun one. Lots to talk about. I'm sure Phil Brooks is still on the tip of everyone's tongue one way or the other. But we're going to get into all of it. We got more Continental Classic tonight. It's going to be a fun Wednesday. So strap in, strap on, grab your snacks and your feel good. Let's go. Ding, ding, ding. We're live and back at it again, folks. Like I said, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. This is another live stream. Make sure you get in that chat, say hello, hit like, hit subscribe, be a part of the family. We are growing by the minute. I see that chat getting full already. So we will get to everybody out there. But we got Dynamite tonight. Lots to talk about. Crazy times in the wrestling world, crazy times in AEW and everywhere else. So we're going to tackle it all. And who are we? Well, I am Mr. Every Night, KJ White, and that guy's not supposed to be here.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its YouTube tag stream, Champions of the World, the Every Night Delight, KJ White. I am Big Nick, and yes, I am waiting, much like the wrestling world, to see if Tony and the gang, how do they respond to one CM Punk showing up in WWE? Do they just stay in their lane? Do they take shots as they tend to? They took shots even when he was still technically under their fucking company.
Well, yeah. No, I mean, that's the interesting part of all of this is, highly debated Monday night. Punk takes the high road, probably partly due to the fact of the company he works for. But 1 second, we just started.
I'm waiting. That's why I put my hand up.
We are going to get into, what is the response? Is there any response? My advice to Tony Khan is just do you, boo-boo, put on the best show you possibly can, put the best matches in front of us and let your company grow, find more audience, do good things. Don't worry about the giant that you can't tackle.
Do good things. That's a quote. But yeah, 100, well, very much a bit of even taking the Punk's line of your arms are just a little too short to box with God. But is it interesting to see the ripple effect that we've seen of even the stories coming out of QT's leaving, and part of why QT's leaving is not only because he thinks the company's going in a different direction, but because Punk didn't want him on Collision, hated QTV, as did everybody else except for Tony Khan and QT Marshall. And just all these little ripple effects that are still affecting AEW. We have John Moxley of when people asked him about what he thought about Punk showing up on WWE. You don't know what I want to think about it. You don't want to know. Yeah, that's because you couldn't think of anything to think about it, John.
You can barely formulate a sentence.
Right, yeah. Them skewers are still affecting your brain.
But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I said this last night, and I stand by it, is that the scapegoat is gone. Now you have no distractions. If Punk was a cancer, let's say he was everything everybody says he was, now he's gone. He's no longer your problem. He's been gone for a while. So this is put your boots to the fucking grind and start walking and start making headway and start making things happen, because you don't have the excuses. You can blame Punk. You can blame Punk no more. Now it's on you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
That is 100% valid, though. At this point, you have no excuses. You have no what should be distractions or anything like that going on. Anything at this point right now is self-inflicted.
Yeah. I mean, it's on you. It's your booking. It's your show. You got to manage your staff. You got to bring in the right people. You got to put people in the right spots. You got to sign names, and not only sign them, but get them over. Make them big. Make them special. Make your show worth tuning into. I mean, the pre-sale goes on for All In, kicks off and hits 24,000 already. Good for them. but you're barely catching 2,000 people on your domestic shows per week, and you need to answer that. You need to figure that out. Your ratings are plummeting. They're going in the wrong direction. People know your shows aren't must watch. They can catch the matches elsewhere. They don't have to watch the full show.
But see, I don't mind, and the whole other talk about like why part of why QT left is because we might be going to this New Japan G1 style of focusing on the wrestling versus the entertainment and everything. And to go even with like what Tony said there, I hope they don't respond. You've even talked about stay in your lane. If they just, all right, we're taking nothing but L's. There's no way for us to respond and come out on the upside of this. So let's just take this L and move along, and we will endure and keep it moving and, you know, create our own lane.
Yep.
Stay the alternative that they keep preaching, that John Moxley says that AEW always has to be the alternative.
Well, that's the ironic part. I know I popped a shot at John Moxley, and, you know, in a rare occasion, I agreed with him. He said something very poignant. We were the alternative. We can't forget that we were the alternative. We got to continue to be the alternative. And that is the task ahead for Tony. Stop signing the Adam Copelands, the Ric Flairs, the former WWE talent that, you know, if it's a hot talent, if it's a Swerve Strickland, sign them up. But if it's Soraya, if it's, you know, people past that point, maybe think twice. Because you have a lot of people in your stable that are talented, that are young, that are chomping at the bit. And some of them are going to end up on Raw and SmackDown with CM Punk and Randy Orton. And it's coming. Like, there are people waiting for their contracts to end. And we can run through a list of names that if he doesn't find a way to make them happy, they'll be gone.
Well, to piggyback on that last line first before anything, but making the talent happy, I think that's part of how we've gotten here, of you're focused too much on running your business versus making talent happy. And that's an issue. You're too much emotion, too much personal shit has gotten involved into running this as a business.
Yeah. Your wrestlers are happiest when things are being done well and you're walking out to full buildings like you used to.
But even then, if I at least know the fucking direction we're going and I can get behind that, I'll take us building to get there versus us being there already. But yeah, AEW started off as the alt jersey. You know, everybody likes, you know, the secondary jersey from their favorite sports team and everything, and now they've just become the throwback. They're like the Houston Oilers jerseys for the Tennessee Titans now. You were the alt jersey to WWE. Now you're just the throwback version. You've got Ric Flair, you've got Sting, granted that's WCW, you've got Adam Copeland.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Right, that instead of the alt. But let's say hello. Bonkers is back with us. Raw did 1.884 viewers. WrestleNomics. Brian Alvarez said 1.9. You know, he rounded up. I'm okay with that. But yeah, I mean, a good night. Almost 2 million people.
From what I heard, it was the highest rated Monday Night Raw outside of the Raw after Mania.
Yeah, makes sense, right? So. And again, when you look at, I think someone else, I think it was Alexis, dropped like, and I thought I saw Collision was 270, to be honest, not 317. So we can.
Well, I've seen everybody on the AEW side that's deep in that camp that's celebrating and throwing their hands up in the air because they beat out SmackDown on FS1 by like 100,000.
In what? Like overall?
The ratings, it was 835 to like 7 something or whatever, I think. Because
SmackDown only had 730,000 viewers.
Oh yes, from what I saw, because it was on
that FS1. Can't be accurate. Like I'm sure if they did under 1.5, I'd be amazed. That'd be like the lowest SmackDown ever.
I'm just going off of what I saw.
Cool. But we got Bonkers. We got Greg. How you doing? Damien, what's up? Welcome back. Congratulations to Alexa Bliss and Zay Mello. Both had little baby girls, so congratulations to them both.
The women's division already has, you know, its own legacy format.
It's getting deeper. There you go.
Pause.
What's up, Chambers? Welcome back. Also sending congratulations out to the new mothers and fathers. Top Flight in action. Is Top Flight back together? Have we unbroken?
Are they both healthy?
Yeah. Is Darius or whatever, which one, back? Dante Martin. Is he okay? He was broken.
You're here more regularly than me. Why are you asking me?
We haven't seen him in a hot minute. It's been because he broke his leg, I believe.
Right,
MJF dealing with a torn labrum. You and I already talked about this. This is not the time to lose the captain. Your team captain. You can't have Gretzky go down now.
But that's the predicament you've backed yourself into, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
When you put all of your focus on one superstar and you have nothing that supports it, when that superstar goes down for whatever reason, the whole house of cards comes down.
Yep. And that's it. He's been the center of this universe. Now you got a bunch of guys that have been, chomping at getting towards MJF and his belt. If MJF's sidelined, what happens with the Adam Cole storyline? What happens with the Masked Man? What happens with Jay White's kind of moved on. What happens with Joe? And I mean, I still think there's a good chance that Joe's your new AEW World Champion at the end of this month. And
do you think that's because of the injury? Like if that injury story didn't come out, would you think that?
I was already thinking that it was a possibility. I think the injury situation made it even bigger.
Really? I didn't think that at all.
I was leaning towards them doing something like that.
But we got even new names popping up here. Phil saying
Phil's been here before. He's not new.
He's new to me. Hoping for a great night of pro wrestling. AEW doesn't need to counter back because Punk is on WWE TV. He just needs to continue to progress stories and put on great shows. They have no stories though.
They need to. And this tournament is an opportunity. You can build stories within the tournament. Kingston
and Will are two different statements though.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, we're all optimistic as wrestling fans that they can build on it. They can do something with it. And if we are going to more of a New Japan style or whatever, then perhaps it will lend to some intrigue of what comes next. Right now, it's just a series of bookings. Like some of the matches, like Swerve Jay White, that gives you goosebumps. Let's go. But real quick, folks, it looks like my program is starting here as we go. Nick, I'll figure out where you are in a moment.
I have still the end of.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got Orange Cassidy.
Big Bang Theory. I forgot the name of the show.
Right. JPC's not quite ready yet. Oh, Nick's awake. Nice to see you, Nick.
Thanks. Appreciate
it. There you go. He woke up. What's up, Boston? How you doing? Bobby's back with us. Good to see you, my friend. Not surprised. CM Punk already #1 t-shirts sold at WWE shop. Yeah, he broke Survivor Series merch records. Yeah, let me know when you get Orange Cassidy. Or all right. I might pick something easier.
Fair enough.
Bring the rules.
I got the AEW logo. I've just got the whole there. I've got the logo right now for Dynamite.
There you go. So I'm getting the pyro, folks. Waiting for Tony Khan to say, "Tell me when I'm telling lies." I like it. Tag team champs. Tag team champs of the world.
All right.
I hope they don't respond. We got that one. What did Boston say? Oh.
Boston said, "When my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut."
Thank God I got the microphone.
Yeah. I was saying, how did you feel about the Full Gear main event? Jay White should have won, says Rufus.
Well, no. I mean, if the way it was written, he should have won. As Brian Daniel kicking off the show, he will be on commentary tonight, guys.
Are you ready, kids? Aye, Captain. I can hear you. Fucking Patchy the Pirate. Brian Danielson coming out now.
I think the leak is a bit odd. What leak? Is the roof leaking?
Well, we could even talk about, speaking of Danielson, of how he was the head of the disciplinary committee. That said, nay, Punk. I think that came out strictly to take the heat off Tony.
100%.
But Danielson was on it. I think that's a distraction to take the heat off Tony.
Well, and like I said, Danielson's a hard guy to hate. I think it's great for, when you were like, oh, grr, but I think for some people, it's that idea of, well, if Danielson thought he was strong enough to move off the company, then he must have been bad. Plus, but I still say, I would have rather seen a statement saying, I'd rather this not come out. It was Tony Khan's choice, Tony Khan's decision. Tony Khan put his business first, and whether you love it or hate it, he had to make a hard decision, and he did. Just own it and leave it at that. This it was someone else makes him, to me, still look marshmallow soft.
Yeah, stand on your decision. Don't have somebody that's you have Captain America out there. Granted, I know right now behind commentary he looks like more like Snake Plissken with the fucking patch and everything. But you had Captain America who you can't throw shots at or anything because it's still one of the greatest of all time to do it.
Yeah,
so you can't be mad at Danielson for doing it. So it's a way to deflect any sort of attention, any sort of heat of how AEW let him go.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, and I just say less. Just say less. We don't need to know all this shit. Just the more you say, the less we the less we criticize.
The reason we got into this situation was because of backstage leaks and everything like that from AEW. So why the fuck are they still going on?
Oh, yeah. They're opening the show with Jon Moxley versus Jay Lethal. So there we go, folks. We will take your prediction. Who gains another 3 points in the Continental Classic? But Phil says Wardlow is as good as gone as far as I'm concerned. I think we touched on that, but I think Wardlow's a list. There's a list. I think there's people that really liked Punk. I think Ricky Starks is on the list. I think Hobbs might be on the list. I think there's a collection of young talent that it's going to get cherry picked hard, Nick.
Oh, absolutely. As I've got Moxley coming out. You saw Starks on Instagram even give his respects to CM Punk. And I think it's not even just on the fact that Punk left. It shows now how WWE will treat guys that go from AEW. It's much like when WCW and WWF were going at it. Everybody from WCW worried about how they would be treated if they jumped ship. Now you see, granted, Cody's a bit of, the benchmark. CM Punk's the benchmark. Jay's the benchmark. So we've all seen where the benchmark is of how they'll treat people that come from AEW over to WWE. So now if you're a Wardlow, you're a Ricky Starks. I'm just going to say his name out loud because I hope it happens at some point in Eddie Kingston. And you go over to WWE, granted, I know that's a stretch with Eddie, but if you go over to WWE, you at least have a preconceived expectation of how you're going to be treated.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. All right, everyone. The best night of the week is finally here. Real, I hope it's the best night of the week. NXT was outstanding last night. I really liked Raw. Let's go Dynamite. Do something that makes me say, wow. But you're looking at, in my opinion, one of the finalists of this tournament.
Well, out of this side of the bracket, I feel. And I mean, he's going against Jay Lethal. Does anyone have Jay Lethal? Anybody? Bueller?
I'd be surprised if he gets a point. 100. I'm excited to see what a smooth wrestling production actually looks like for a change. Oh my God, Real. This is the smooth one? The one with all the audio issues? The one with all the visual issues? The one
that has to replay video packages because the first one aired with no audio?
Come on, my guy. I'll listen, you're allowed to have your opinion about the wrestling, but come on. Production, they don't even come close.
This has been
even fair.
Ever since Saturday, even on whichever side of the fence you lay on, tribalists, I'll put it that way, because I don't consider us and I don't consider most of our fan base in that view of it, we look at it from the greater outward spectrum of pro wrestling. But tribalists have very much gone and turned in on each other of like, you have AEW versus AEW, WWE going at WWE and everything. It's like, why can't we just be excited that everyone's talking about pro wrestling right now? Instead, we've got to draw battle lines for no fucking reason.
Well, again, I think I referenced Mick Foley yesterday, and the reason I referenced Mick is because Mick's a legend and probably knows more than we've forgotten, or he's forgotten more than we know. And the guys, find a reason to like wrestling, find a reason to love what you're watching. Like, and Anthony and I talked about the idea that like you don't go to the movies or go to a concert and go, I can't wait for this to suck. Like it's a weird dynamic with wrestling of how many people watch every single minute and hate 80% of it.
Hate watching is a thing that is exclusive to pro wrestling fandom.
It's crazy.
That is realistically, honestly, a thing. Like you said right there, you don't go to the movies, so you don't go and watch the new Marvel movie because you're a super DC fan.
Yeah.
You just want to see how bad this movie sucks.
Yeah, I
No,
can't wait
you
to
don't
get
do
on
shit
there
like
and
that.
shit on it.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't. I wasn't listening to Backstreet Boys hoping their albums sucked because I wanted to big up NSYNC and shit like that. Like, no, you hate watching is pro wrestling IWC, to that term, exclusive.
And I got no problem. Like we got Luna and Anthony here, and Luna and Anthony love Impact. They'll tell you that Impact's the best wrestling going, and that's great. I don't agree. It's not my favorite. AEW at one point, and you guys can go back through the archive to find out, was my fave. It's the reason why I came back to being a wrestling fan. But I mean, I got to call it the way I see it. And when you make comments about, well, we're going to see a smooth production tonight, that I hope that was sarcastic, because if not, it comes off incredibly blinded. Hey, yo, what's up, Steve?
Well, that's though, like I was saying, of why I feel we can make the comments and the critiques and everything that we do is because we watch everything and don't have loyalty to anything.
Well, you think we were going to show up 7 nights a week for something we fucking hate?
We've literally been on stream saying, I don't want to be here, but I'm here because it's wrestling.
Right. Will MJF need surgery? There's been no report of that at this point. I believe if he tore his labrum, it's going to require surgery.
Fingers crossed. But yeah, to Paul's comment,
it was low.
It was FS1, not Fox.
Yes. And you were right. You were accurate with the number. So that's fucking low for them. SmackDown on FS1, Fox. So obviously the ratings would be drastically different.
But see, that's the thing. And again, as everybody's taking, shots at AEW for their low ratings, there is a chestnut of a fucking case there about the ratings, but still, you didn't go beyond what you would have done regardless. Like, you didn't blow the doors down. You didn't have a super high night or anything. You just
you needed the guy in front of
you the course.
Yeah, you needed the guy in front of you to trip over the hurdle to get there.
Right.
So, yeah. Fair enough. But Jay White and Moxley kicking it off. Jay White going for
back stunner.
Your thoughts on the Bucks making a faction with Jack Perry and Colt Cabana? Holy shit. It would be dumb. It'd be a waste of time.
No, it would be WCW. At that point, just fucking name it the new elite world order or some shit like that.
Yeah. The Bucks have some growing up to do. And this time off, I hope it does them well. That they go away and they figure their shit out. And when they come back, they don't even remember the name Phil Brooks. They have no idea who the human being is anymore. Stop with the childishness. Stop with the antics, because now you guys look like complete assholes. You were supposed to be the EVPs of a company that end up being probably the biggest problem in the company.
Is it weird to have someone that's almost on your same, like in your same age group and everything like that, and have to tell them they need to grow up?
Yeah,
and that's someone that's supposed to be along more professionally than you are, and all of this. If you're a big time pro wrestler, maybe not act like a grown petulant child.
Well, that's the thing. And again, they're fathers. They're not children. They're married. They got families. They got to grow up, and the childishness hurt AEW. Even when Punk was there, the fighting amongst the fan base of who was right and who was wrong and who did this and who said that, and did you catch that little quib and did you catch this little quib? It hurt because it took away from the product.
Right.
Booking more physical style will take its toll on an already injured Plague and older roster.
Yes. 100%. And that's the thing. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and that's the thing, is they don't have a PC or anything like that. They don't even use Ring of Honor as a developmental thing too much or anything. So you don't have a way to develop talent. It's pretty much you just get thrown in the fire.
Well, and that's it. I think that's one of the biggest reasons. And again, I'm not a professional wrestler. And even once upon a time when I thought I could be, I wasn't good. So don't ask me. But I've heard a lot of people that have done it at a high level. That, the bumps matter, the reps matter. And when you're not familiar with someone, when you're just dropping Vikingo into matches, now you got to time shit. And when you get a bunch of people that aren't overly used to each other, they don't have in-ring chemistry. And you see a lot of these potatoes flying all over the place. And I don't
Right.
mean
Well, 100%. I'm like you. I was not a pro wrestler. Don't pretend to be. The closest I got was doing it on a trampoline. But it's the same thing in any sort of sport, anything like that. Eventually, age catches up with you and everything.
Yep.
So if you can capitalize on the most out of somebody out of the gate, that's still the best way you can go on about it. If you can take as less reps, as less bumps and everything as you can to still maximize your output, that's really where it needs to be. And especially if you're already coming in with half your rosters pretty much banged up.
Yeah, no, it's an issue, and we've seen it. Like we talk about Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan makes his triumphant return to wrestling. It's a big deal, and he spent big cutter. He spent like 65% of his time in since he returned on the IR, and it's not good for business.
How much the longer Danielson keeps getting injured, does the Miz look right on that talking smack?
A little bit. I mean, it aged well for sure.
Right. That shit aged like fine wine more than most people expected.
Right. I'm picking Lethal because I can't stand Moxley. Wow, Mox grabbing his leg.
Well, because we had I'm trying to think of the term. It's like a snapdragon something or whatever. Dragon screw. Yeah, we had a dragon screw off the top rope here on Team Moxley after Moxley's already been selling the knee. Sorry.
Right. Cody and Punk were WWE guys to start. So was Moxley. So was, no, do you want the list? I mean, we already talked about Danielson. We got Adam Copeland running around, Christian. Yeah, the list goes on. And that's why people say things like, it will always be your home. It's an ongoing feel with the WWE. Doesn't matter where you roam, this will be your home.
That plays into the hypocrite thing with Seth Rollins, because trust me, I wanted to say it earlier about my feelings on the Punk promo, but we'll save it for a commercial.
Cool. We just came out of picture in picture, by the way, folks. Most people taking Mox. A couple people.
I wanted to click on Mike here saying, I don't watch WWE. Quit watching AEW when Punk showed up. I see this as all wins. There's a fan base out there that's like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, somehow losing the guy that brings in the most business, has had some of your most compelling storylines, is good for the company. I don't subscribe to that feeling because I really liked what Punk did when he was on, when he was there. And again, you're still looking at things like the match he had with MJF. However, I said it before. I think you said it. Now you can move on. Just move on. And everything's great.
If you're going to have fans that are like that and everything, like Mike and everything, then you play to those fans. You create that product instead of dipping your toe into every little thing that's happening of, well, we're going to bring in some ex-WWE guys. Well, we're going to bring in a guy like Punk because he's going to catch the buzz and titles. If you don't want that, if that's what you want out of AEW, then if they stay away from that, then that's on you. But if you just stay to your lane, that's really at the end of the day what this is. Stay to your lane. Quit trying to be what you're not. Dip your toe into every avenue. Stay with what you're doing.
And I find it ironic. We clicked those two comments back to back about the WWE talent, the people who were originally WWE talent. And then Mike's comment, like, I understand. So, I mean, I find the AEW hardcore fan base, they're okay with certain former WWE talent, but not all of them. Like, it's an interesting dynamic of like, well, he's a WWE guy. Well, Moxley was a WWE guy.
You either buy into the cult or you don't buy into the cult. And
yeah, you can't have it.
Unfortunately, Punk was a cult of personality.
Right? They highlight more former WWE talent than, on a weekly basis than they do original AEW talent.
I was going to say, we've got Moxley, former WWE, and Jay Lethal, former Impact, which we saw some people saying that want Lethal to go back to Impact.
Yeah, I did notice that.
It's about to be TNA again.
Right. The story came out to take the heat off TK. Danielson takes the L all the time for the guys, and with his impending retirement, and with zero fucks given mode, you're not wrong at all, Money, in the sense of, Daniel Bryan is that guy. He's the ultimate go along to get along. Paradigm shift. An actual paradigm shift.
Yeah, after granted weird selling of,
he doesn't sell.
Lethal goes for the lethal injection, and then Moxley just like drops to his knees out of nowhere.
I know people say like
pile driver.
this is the real wrestling. But I wish Moxley would sell something. He makes it
Two
so
down,
hard to
two
make that
down.
argument. Two. Here comes the choke, and it's going to be over, folks. Moxley heading to his.
It's so weird though that their under talent end up having half the time the best matches. Like Swerve and Hangman Page have the best match of the night.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, you've got like Mox on the card and everything, and you can predict the match. You can predict how it's going to go. You can literally 5 steps ahead of it.
Well, and I mean, again, some people love Mox. My brother loves Mox. That's your cup of tea, fine. But for me, when you talk about real wrestling and pro wrestling, Mox just doesn't sell anything, doesn't give a shit, doesn't dig in, doesn't, never makes the other guy in the ring look good. And then I think this whole tournament's leading towards Moxley versus Bryan.
Which, granted, as a whole would be a hell of a match. But going back to your original, what you brought up earlier about guys in AEW that might go back to WWE, can we name off some lists of like Jericho's not going back, Moxley's not going back, Danielson's not going back? You could load up whatever money you want. I've been on the record of saying I will pay Tony Khan to keep Chris Jericho.
Danielson, after retirement, may pop back up in the WWE, go to the Hall of Fame kind of idea. I could see that 100% being a thing. He has no ill will. He left on good terms. There was nobody has any issue with it. I don't see there being a problem at all. If they called up Bryan and said, "Hey, we want to put you in the Hall of Fame," I think he'd be there in a hiccup.
I think it's more he's an odd duck, so I don't really think that. I would say I'm more likely to see Brie Bella in AEW than Bryan Danielson ever show up again in WWE.
Oh, I would 100%.
I'm not saying that you're wrong. I just personally feel he's kind of that odd duck of be the one that's like, I don't need that. I don't want to do that for whatever fucking reason.
He wants his flowers. I think he'd be fine. And again, if he's retired and relaxing on the porch, I don't see him turning that down. Bryan loves the WWE. The WWE loves Bryan. Vince gave him a big old thumbs up. But we got Eddie Kingston cutting a promo about being a loser.
Why you gotta say that?
Because I knew
you gotta get chopped. Now you gotta get chopped. Eddie Kingston is still one of the biggest things that I'm glad we're starting to see come back into pro wrestling and has been missing from pro wrestling. He feels real. He feels authentic. Much like what we say with the end of our streams of our shit is real or shit is authentic. I guess that's why I relate to him, is because of what we do and everything. It's straight from the hip. There's no, I thought this out beforehand. I'm talking, and it's a conscious stream of thought.
What's up, Dale? How you doing? Yeah, Raw just under 2 million viewers last night. I still want to see that number come up, but I think in time. Give it time.
Fuck. So yeah, on Collision, by the way, we're gonna get Danielson versus Eddie, and so my favorite to win the tournament, my hero, is gonna take 2 straight L's because he's been set up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can't imagine him stealing this victory, but he is trying to sell this underdog thing. And Daniel is cutting a promo right now with one eye. It's hard to take serious.
Like I said, Snake Plissken, Escape from AEW, is out here cutting a fucking promo right now.
Absolutely.
I still, though, want to watch the shit out of this match. Like, you could have Collision be that whole match.
Yeah.
And Garcia versus Max. Again, this goes down to, like what we talked about earlier of, if AEW shifts to where they're the good match pro wrestling, they're Ring of Honor to an extent of they have great matches. There's no fucking story with this shit. I'm fine with it. Be fine with being number 2.
Yeah.
That's really the end of it.
Great card for Collision. Yeah, 3 more Continental matches. Up next, we're getting Mark Briscoe versus Rush. And my God, I can't help but feel like Mark Briscoe deserves better in this company.
A good bit. Does he get to the finals and we get Jon Moxley versus Mark Briscoe? I think that's like, does he win it?
No. This is Danielson's tournament, man. Like, I can't imagine anyone, but I know Daniel loves to go under. But I imagine,
Plus.
I mean, if you, I mean, for a match that leads, for a tournament that leads to a match at World's End, Danielson's the name value. I think they try and sell us on the breaking up of the BCC, perhaps. But that's the way I see this. I mean, it would be nice if it was Eddie. It would be nice if it was Mark. I don't even think Mark gets out of the fucking round robin.
See, now that you said this and everything, I want to just pull for Mark, because at this point,
Yeah.
how good though would it be as a final statement if you're bearing the lineage of the Ring of Honor title? Let's be honest, because you're merging it with an AEW title and the New Japan Strong title. So you're merging it with two titles that are much younger than it. If Mark Briscoe goes over Bryan Danielson, the projected favorite to win this tournament, and he wins it, and now both Briscoe brothers have been Ring of Honor world champions in an extent. I would really like that.
I would like it. I do. I think I felt
The
like Mark
likelihood is
Briscoe,
unlikely, but I would like it.
Mark Briscoe should have got that Ring of Honor world title right off the hop. Like, I mean, they shouldn't have waited on it. Like when he
That's
came
too
back.
fresh though, because then you kind of
No.
almost have to do it.
Yeah, but again, like, so it's funny because we have the argument of a Punk where I'm like, take your time, and you're like, no, hit it while it's hot. Then I'm like, well, Briscoe came back. They should have ran that. No,
So with
we
the
got to
CM
take it.
Punk thing, all right. So
All right, let's go on the
I'm going
CM
to
Punk
say
thing.
with the CM Punk thing, I get the whole references, the tie-ins, everything like that. I get everything behind it. Granted, I wish it would have been a little bit more aimed at Seth Rollins or anything like that. I get it. I guess just with me personally, I viewed it of, and how I took it was, okay, it's not starting off the show. It's still good. It's still good. It's a little rushed. It's still good. It's still good. It's a little bland. It's still good. It's still good. I personally just wanted way more out of that.
Yeah.
Like, I get where it's going, and I can respect that and acknowledge it. I wanted more out of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I mean, and you're not the only one that had that opinion. And that's perfectly fine. And I know people wanted more, but at the end of the day, I said this yesterday. I listened to somebody like Mick Foley talk about that was a strong, great promo, and he tells all the young wrestlers it's a marathon, not a sprint. And some of the wrestling fans have to remember that too. And I don't think they're ever going to directly acknowledge AEW. I don't.
So you believe that they're, because that is one of those of you win by not acknowledging them, and there's been reports out there of that CM Punk wants to move past that, but it's such the elephant in the room. How do you ignore that?
For a lot of the fans, it isn't that big of an, like, for a big chunk of the WWE fans, he was just gone. Like I mean, they're not chomping at it. And again, it's not really the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is, who is he about to take on? Is he going to take on Seth? Is he going to take on Roman? He doesn't have to acknowledge what happened in AEW at all.
I think that's a much smaller audience size than what you think it is.
I think it's bigger than what people think it is. I think it's the smart mark IWC on Twitter that think they're more than 7% of the audience, and they're not.
That's fair. That's fair. Granted, as I have Sting and Ric Flair with Tony Schiavone in WCW, I had to make sure that I was looking at the right letters behind them.
But yeah, his last match at Revolution. I'm curious what's happening here. Rick looks like the high guy that put glasses on to cover it up.
Well, did you see RVD put out a thing of saying Ric Flair's the same one that snitched on me about smoking and now owns a strain company? I feel like he was almost for a halfway second remembering he didn't have to cut a promo on Sting. He's got a big up Sting.
Right?
Keyshawn, agree with you. Mainstream audience doesn't know about all that Punk and AW stuff.
No. And he's not required to address it in any way, shape, or form. And the entitlement of fans that think we deserve some type of explanation, that's just self-entitlement. Like, that is nothing more than that.
What if we just want it? I
We
don't think
want
we
it.
deserve it. I just want it. You said be greedy. I'm gonna be greedy. God damn it!
But you can try sometimes.
Uh,
But yeah, no, I think
get what you need.
Right? It's not like Triple H came out in a press conference and said, you know, I read Tony Khan's tweets and this is my opinion on that. No, he doesn't. You know, anytime AEW comes up, he's like, who, what, and that's it. And that's
why
how
I'm
they're
so
treating
surprised that we're not getting, anything coming out of the same company, the same owner that was tweeting out the bald asshole tweet and everything like that.
But yeah, again, WWE just lets them act like an idiot, and at the end of the day, they look like the better company. They're filling more buildings, they're doing more business, they're signing up all the stars, and your owner is on Twitter fucking making jokes.
But that is the coldest move. I will respect that. Of you don't punch down, you punch across, you punch up.
Yeah.
So why the fuck would I punch down and acknowledge you when I don't have to?
Mm-hmm.
CM Punk, regardless of how you feel about it, was still the most talked about thing on Monday Night Raw.
And he will be next week. And he will be, people will be asking.
He could be on Friday night.
Could be on Friday. Like, there was people out there that were talking about like that was the death of CM Punk, and that's moronic.
No,
and I know, and I'm not saying you because I know you and I don't agree on the promo, but I know you don't feel that way. But here comes Mark Briscoe.
Right. I just want to touch on this before I take a quick pause here. Of most WWE fans can't spell WWE, so don't give them too much credit. Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh, I'll leave that up more. I want tears as everyone. Oh, Rick is high. Rick is drunk. It could be.
Yeah, I didn't even have to say anything. I was just like, you can have that.
Mike, can you spell AEW? Mike, that was lame. Put that cookie down. Nick, how many times have the Dolphins addressed the Bills? Number one doesn't.
Oh.
Oof. All right. On that note, you can have that.
Yeah. Here comes Roosh, and there goes Nick. Oh, way to go. Look what you did. You brought up the Bills. Nick had to go. But we are rolling along. I will take your predictions on this match, folks. Who are you taking? Who's going to get the 3 points? Remember, you can still draw a 20-minute time limit, though I don't see that happening. Somebody did mention that Mark Briscoe and Jay Lethal are in this tournament to take L's, and that is how I feel about it. I agree. They're not the ones that are going to fight out for the top of this division or either division. Unfortunately, I love Mark Briscoe. I think Mark Briscoe's underutilized. But I don't see it. Roosh right now, he rarely loses. I can't see him losing tonight. I wish Julia Hart was given a feud, maybe a stat rematch instead of getting Emmy again. Yeah, I don't understand the Emmy booking. Some fans out there think Emmy's great. Emmy, to me, is wasting her TV time unless she's in a 4-minute squash match, and she never is. She's always in a 10-minute competitive match. Emmy shouldn't be on the TV. There's so much talent in your roster, according to you. Then use that talent. You don't need Emmy out there. You let Julia Hart have a rivalry, have a feud, be into something, make it important, make it matter, make it count. That's the way I see it. What a rush. Let's go, folks. As the night rolls on, we're coming up at the hour mark soon. And Mark Briscoe all over Roosh to kick off this one. But and bigger news, by the way, is not the fact that Danielson is going to fight Eddie, that Danielson is back. Like, he's still wearing an eye patch, but apparently he's wrestling on Saturday. So that's exciting. I think Roosh should get the push over Mark here. Fair enough. And he probably will. This match going to be crazy. It's got a lot of potential, that's for sure. Briscoe for the win. Nice. I thought everybody was banned from ringside. They are. Wait, aren't they? I don't see anybody at ringside, AJ. Oh, wow. Mark slapping Roosh off the top rope out to the floor. Wow. And here he goes. Wow. Drop kick through the ropes. Rush, famous Canadian. Awesome albums. 2112 and Hemisphere. See Money. In all honesty, not a Rush fan. Never got it. People love Rush. I don't. Rush versus Andrade. I felt like they were building towards a Rush versus Andrade rivalry, kind of a story between the two. Never came to be, never came to fruition. I don't know why. I don't know what happened there. Fact here that it's really amazing Flair's still alive at 74 years old. Listen, I say it. He's the Hugh Hefner of wrestling. He is the GOAT on so many levels. And again, you find me another person in any line of work that has done it for as long as Ric Flair has done it, as relevant as Ric Flair has done it. And as Joe Rogan eloquently put, he's one of the only people in the world that if you yelled out his name anywhere, it elicits a response. Go to Walmart tomorrow and just yell out Ric Flair and somebody will woo. It's facts. Picking Rouge for the win. AEW is missing sports entertainment right now. Elaborate. Show your work on that one. I'm curious. Yeah, they're lacking a bit of both. Jay and Swerve is a draw for me later. Bonkers, me too. I'm pumped. I mean, they're on the graphic for a reason. Swerve versus Jay White should be one outstanding match. Tom Sawyer is outstanding. I will admit I like Tom Sawyer, but that's just about as far as my Rush love goes. And it's more the riff and the opening of that song. The minute it starts, you know what it is. But just like, I don't know, especially older Rush. Fucking hell. As Rush takes out Mark, both men down. I believe we're going to a commercial. Maybe. No. Felt like a commercial spot. Pitcher and pitcher. All right. But yeah, Tom Sawyer is one of the good ones. What's that? Oh fuck. What was that song I loathe? Closer to the Heart. Like that song just gives I cringe to this day if it comes on the radio. KJ, it's Mark Briscoe versus Roosh now. Yes. I don't know if I said otherwise. I'm debating which belt to buy, WWE Heavy Eagle or Roman Reigns Universal. Get Seth Rollins Monday Night belt. Daniel letting Big Nick know that entire album is great. I had it on vinyl. Every song is fantastic. Sorry. I don't know. I can't do it. It's Geddy Lee. I don't know. It gets to me. AEW where legends go to die. I added the end part. Tom Sawyer, the ring theme for the Von Erichs at World Classic back in the day Chambers. Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. That's hard to compete with. No, that's a beauty. Yeah, I don't know why. I just never really liked Rush. Never got into them. Does WWE have enough talent to give the women a women mid-card title? I saw this come up, and I saw people talking about the possibility of a WWE women's mid-card title. I don't love the idea, but something we do have to think about. Let's say they don't let's ignore Sasha Banks right now. We just saw 10 women involved or 8 women involved in the War Games. We see what they're doing on Raw, as Nick calls it, the beefy side of the women's division. There is a lot of talent there. Then let's say Alexa Bliss is soon to come back. Let's say some of this NXT talent continues to develop, like a Tiffany, like a Kiana James, a Roxy, Blair Davenport. They could do it. It will require booking. Technically, right now in my head, I'm like, it's kind of like the NXT championship. But yeah, I thought before they could have taken one of the two, take the US title and make the US title dedicated to the women and have the IC title dedicated to the men. Again, it all comes down to booking, right? They have a women's tag team division that for the longest time meant nothing. Now Trips is trying to fix that, but it's got to matter. If you're going to have a division, you've got to make it matter. He's done it with the IC title. He's done it with Seth Rollins' title. He's trying to do it with the tag team division. We're seeing the tag team division highlighted a lot, and we're seeing the women highlighted a lot. But a lot of things have to happen for that to come to fruition. As we sit here right now, if they introduce it next week, I wouldn't love the idea. Should MJF be at World's End if the torn labrum is still giving him pain? I mean, we saw Cody do it with his pec, with his purple pec. That's between MJF, the doctors, and the company that employs him. If he can go and it doesn't hurt him worse, or it's not going to be a detriment, or it's not going to put himself and or Samoa Joe at risk, yeah, wrestle. But I can't give an opinion on that, Richard. Totally. My concern is, do you just put him there because you don't have anybody else with the name value of him? So we're going to get a watered down match or a very hokey match. Will Adam Cole try and fill in again? That's my concern. Is we have potential of Samoa Joe, MJF. It's going to be great, but I think if it's public knowledge that he has a torn labrum, you may want to consider giving that belt to Joe. As Roosh has Mark down in the corner. Boom. We've gotten 2 matches back to back, no mid segments. Okay, we got that Sting Ric Flair thing, but come on, give us something backstage. Listen, and this is where we talked about AEW being the alternative. You want to give me match, a little segment in the back, match. I'd rather have that than really shitty segments. So that's my issue is we get these long promos. You know, you get a Jericho out there talking about how great he is and bullshitting or something that just wastes time. I'd rather just go match because so far Dynamite's been good because one solid match followed by another solid match. I can't complain. But leave the sports entertainment to the other guys, maybe. OnlyFans title. I'm in. I think it'd be a very exciting division. Go back to the days of mud wrestling and and bra and panties matches. Justin, great match. Both guys getting at it. Very good match. Crowd seems into it. We're on a chop spot on the apron right now. And I like both these guys. Roosh was a good signing. Like the WWE could have got their hands on Roosh. They got their hands on his brother. Roosh is a talent. He's a big guy. He works well. Yeah, I mean, it's a good match. Nice spot, belly to belly off the apron. Khan's contemplating adding female tag titles, even though they don't need any more belts. Tony Khan is making a mistake. Tony Khan needs to solidify the belts that matter on his company or in his company. Tony Khan needs to take his time, make it organized, make them stand out, make them have their own little divisions. You know who is going after what belt, not just randomly who shows up this week to fight you. And AEW's women's division, does not have enough talent to have tag titles. They don't. There's not enough women there that can fight at the level you need them to. And in addition to that, you don't give them enough time to have that. What are we going to get, a women's title match every 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks? I don't know. I don't know how you make it matter. I think it's just belts for the sake of belts. There's not enough talent there. And I know I'm breaking some hearts when I say that, but I challenge anybody to prove me wrong. There's just not enough high-level talent in that division. I don't even think they should have 2 belts. I don't think they should have the TBS belt and the TNT belt. I would just like them to have, or not the TNT, the women's world title. I would like to see them just have 1 belt and you funnel your best stars there because the top of that pyramid is shallow. But Roosh with a big win and 3 points on the board. I think that makes Roosh 2-0 in the tournament. Yeah, no, I mean, again, and it's not that I hate AEW or I hate AEW's women division, but Tony doesn't book it well. And right now, if you had Julia Hart feuding with, sorry, I'm just looking at the standings real quick. Okay, so that was Rush's first win. Okay. So Moxley gets 6 because it's Moxley. He still has to take on Jay White, Rush, and someone else. There you go. Tranquilo from Rush. But there you go, folks. The tournament heats up. But yeah, like I said, I just don't think there's enough depth. And if it was Julia Hart going after Timeless Tony, and then you had a couple other, you focused on the Britt Baker, who's been MIA forever. But you focused on the Britt Bakers, the Jamie Haters, who should be back soon, and that second tier of women that are working their way up to that one Covenant title. It feels a lot better than getting Julia Hart versus Emmy. But Timeless, speaking of Timeless.
Well, no, I was going to say, speaking of second tier, but I was going to make a joke of what you say about his company is what you say about society.
Keep your purple peck to yourself. I will not.
Pause. But yeah, no, I heard your comments about Rush. I almost did what you did and call it Roosh.
Roosh, yeah.
Yeah, no. Pops was a big fan of Rush because Pops was a drummer in a different life of, I think, like a band called Pegasus or something. So
yeah,
big fan of Roosh.
Roosh.
Fuck, I fucked it up again.
Yeah, and speaking of fucking up, here comes the scarf.
I got on standby.
Good match. 2 good matches tonight. AEW's got some points so far. And MJF's got a cane because apparently his hip's not feeling good in addition to his labrum.
Well, he's out here with the pimp walk. Man's out here with 2 belts, just pimp walking with a cane. This is Ric Flair 2023.
Yeah. There you go. Justin's happy. Let's go. Yeah, there you go. He asked me, shall receive.
I was already ready.
MJF, applaud Nick for the Tom Sawyer trolling.
100%. Well, fun fact of even a different note, one of the kids I grew up with and everything was in Einstein Kills.
Yeah?
Yeah, Shane Bisnett. T's and P's and everything like that. Yeah. So you have the hockey tie-ins. I apparently have like music tie-ins.
There you go. I like it.
Who are you addressing?
Joe?
Oh, Samoan Joseph.
I respect him.
He didn't come here to line his pockets. Check one off the board for a CM Punk reference.
I think that's a whole list of guys in the back reference.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you mean? That's half their roster.
Right. Well, the one guy just came out there and cut a promo saying,
"Here to make money." Yeah.
Right.
I'll give you that. Wait, what?
Oh, TNA Wrestling. Where's Luna and Anthony?
Right? He's about to talk about Joe and TNA.
I like Nick's Kangol hat. Is that because I'm Samuel L. Jackson? Because I might drop a motherfucker every now and then. I miss you, MGF. We all do.
Yeah, yeah.
MGF makes AEW excitable. He's the cornerstone of this company.
He's the center of the universe.
Facts.
Ooh,
oh, so we have our first official WWE.
Well, MJF, it's not nothing new for MJF popping off at WWE.
Well, I know, but at least we got we got one company out there, like you said how you said and how you felt about with the CM Punk promo. There was no reference of the other company, but we're still going to keep taking shots at WWE.
You don't have to be a bodybuilder to be a top guy in this sport. That's a shot at Vince's WWE, not the current WWE.
Yeah, but that's so fucking weird because it's like,
Again,
Maxwell, like your
let it go.
entire image is what Vince would have wanted for WWE.
Yeah. Should we remind you of the fucking field of back pimples you're rocking?
Yeah,
we all know why.
Well, shout out OSW. MJF is the front runner for fucking Roydie Magoo this year, 100%. Wait, who do you say thank you to?
Those other companies for letting Joe come to AEW.
Oh,
but listen,
as we're getting a tepid AEW chant.
Yeah.
Oh, was it a thank you, Joe? I thought it was an AEW.
That's what you. Again, it's just such an odd promo. And again, to me, it's everything I said that Punk didn't do. Is, you know what? Talk about you. Talk about now. Talk about the beef y'all have with each other, opposed to Joe and other companies and slipping your little digs in there. Like, to me, it's like, been there, done that.
It's telling me where he's fucking hitched his wagon. He's saying how I made this place brick by brick and everything. I think he's gonna ride this shit to the fucking wheels fall off. And unfortunately, you've hitched yourself to a fucking injured fucking horse.
Yeah.
You've hitched your wagon to a horse that's destined for the glue factory versus the Kentucky Derby.
Uh-huh. No, you're not wrong.
Like, that's the thing. Well, we've talked about it even with Mercedes, etc. Every time I say her name, I feel like I'm talking about a car. I'm going to leave that alone. But how they'd rather be the big fish in the smaller pond than take their chances at being a bigger fish in the ocean.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, he's the top guy. He's the top of the pyramid. He's the guy that matters. He's going to get the biggest payoff, the biggest paycheck. He is going to be the king of this world. That's an unknown with WWE. The only thing that I would think of prior, and we talked about this, if Tony Khan doesn't have this man under contract for the next 4 to 5 years, Tony Khan is missing the boat, and he's going to put.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot.
I was trying to be nicer than that, but yes, you would be an idiot. But when you come back, there is guys at Cody that would, come on, MJF. It's going to be fun. It's going to be good. They're going to take care of you. You're going to be in, you're going to be in the movies. You're going to do all the things. You're going to be a star.
But see, that's the thing is MJF is a guy that seems so like WWF, like so WWE, like right. Like he's one of those, he's not a blue chip. He is the blue chip. 100%. If he showed up there, you could drop him into what we're even talking about of dropping Punk into a feud with Roman Reigns. You could drop MJF into a feud with Roman Reigns. You could drop Punk into or MJF into a feud with Cody, like you were just saying.
Oh, lights out, lights out, lights out.
Catching flies in his mouth.
We're getting flashes.
Strobes.
We got company. We got company.
We got jumped. It's the aces and eights.
Are we gonna find out who the masked man is just randomly tonight?
That's the only. Is that the secret way that's your only counterpunch?
Here's
Joe
Joe.
shows up to defend him.
Yeah, but then you just blow your story where you were, no.
I know we have Impact tomorrow night, but am I the only one that right now feels like this Devil storyline has become the aces and eights of fucking
Did your
AEW?
TV go blank?
Yes.
My TV went blank.
Imprisoning me. All that I got.
Who said something about the smooth production of the AEW?
Yeah, real. In the shadows, our game begins. It's all about the game and how you play it. Next week, MJF and Samoa Joe. You face the unknown in a tag match. Are you a hero, Max?
Okay.
And So we just go back to normal, like nothing happened. Like I said, this is their aces and eights of it's supposed to be this compelling, spooky, fucking interesting story, and it's gonna end up being bullshit. I'm so sick of your Scooby-Doo. Who are you?
This guy. I love this guy.
It's the same shot. And shout out CJ of saying what I wanted Punk to do. Well, fire me, you fucking Mark.
The Devil next week, maybe not. Maybe just part. Like he's gonna face the unknown tag team. They could be in lucha mask for all we know.
I like this. So maybe we can get Garrett Bischoff and Wes Briscoe. Fee went out. No, they're just typefold.
I think
for the aces and eights. It better not be Jack.
None of those men were small enough to be Jack Perry.
Oh, well, he's the voice behind it here.
Maybe the typing behind it.
Well, it was the best of times. It was the blurst of times.
I still got this. Like, if it's not Adam Cole, where, like, what was the point of all the shit we went through?
Aces and eights.
Okay,
Bully Ray, what you doing, my guy?
So where's that go? What is that? How does that? How, like, this is going to end up being WWE guys?
But see, it's going to be this weird transition of whether AEW decides to stay in their own lane or not. Of they have to break away from this WWE light image. So even if they're going to do this, and this is going to probably be asked as it foresees, but if they need to at least try and find their own identity, I guess. I'm trying to make a sacrifice here, trying to rationalize something here. If they need to, purge the WWE stink, if they're just going to do their own thing here.
Mike, I like this from Mike. I like this. Did they really have matching jackets?
Yes.
I'm not watching it at all.
Yes, they 100% had matching outfits, matching leotards, everything. I'm telling you, aces and eights.
Have we seen him in the ring or just on promos? The mask guy, we haven't seen anything but him back and then on screen.
It's going to be Devon Dudley.
Be very disappointing.
Can we just say at this point that more often than not, this devil thing is going to be disappointing?
I think if it's Adam Cole and some form of
what tells you this is Adam Cole?
I feel like the story was leading that way the whole time. I've never changed from that. And if it's not Adam Cole, I think you fucked up because you built the Adam Cole MJF story and then just walked away from it then.
The random team is the Kingdom.
What's that?
Well, because we've got MJF and Samoa Joe would be taking on a random team next week and everything that, as I guess, tied to this clearly.
It's going to be the Kingdom and Matt.
Right. Well, I was going to say, unless it's the Kingdom, then fuck off with your Adam Cole theory, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, who else would it be that matters? Like, if you don't pay off the Cole story,
therein lies the statement. That matters. We don't even know if who they have behind the mask matters.
But it should matter.
Should and are two different things.
Yeah, but I'm strictly basing it on the fact of you figure that they're going to do something. And listen, I think that blackout, by the way, was whoever was on the button to bring up the video of the typing hit the wrong button and blacked us out for 10 seconds.
Kevin Dunn's Bucky Bucktooth Beaver Teeth just hit the wrong button.
Kevin Dunn got his shit together.
I was going to say, wrong show. But
Right. But yeah, I mean, the masked person, there's been a lot of speculation. People still think it's Britt. Some people still think it's Jungle Boy. But no matter who the devil is, if you don't give us some type of payoff between MJF and Adam Cole, you wasted all that time, all those vignettes, all the storytelling that you did do is out the fucking window if you don't come back to it.
What is AEW, especially with MJF versus CM Punk? Sorry. I like this though. Daniel was saying, go watch when Jay White got jumped. One of the guys is strong. You can see his neck brace through his hood.
No way he was wearing a neck brace under the hood. He would have taken the neck brace off, guys.
Man's doing the gimmick on a gimmick.
Here comes Wardlow.
Gimmick off as I've got Wardlow Bro, man, you need a haircut. Like,
I think he got
why
one. Was the
that weird
problem.
little split here?
Right. It's Ken Kennedy.
Mr. Wardlow.
Oh, jump start.
As he's taking on AR Fox.
So Babyface Fox starts the match with a jump start. Up and over. There you go.
What does the Fox say? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Ouch. Stop it.
All right. You're hurting me.
Pause. The devil will be Joe all along. Ooh.
And that screams to me aces and eights. That's, when you had Bully Ray out there marrying Brooke Hogan and everything.
Tony, listen, man, that's got legs.
You saw Dixie Carter on Monday Night Raw, but I
know you're fucking around.
Booking AEW.
I know you're fucking around, but that's got legs because of Tony. And he's such a mark for that time period, right? Like, it worked for them. No, it didn't. Think twice.
But seriously, that's the thing is he's a wrestling fan. He's just a shit wrestling fan with a lot of money.
Right.
He's one of those of every fan that you've seen in a chat board that you're like, I wish you would never run a promotion.
Yeah.
Because you would just do the worst shit ever. He's that just with money.
Yeah, he actually
had the money to do it.
Yeah, he's not a guy, just a random college kid. He actually had the money and did it.
Yeah.
So Wardlow's outside the ring with AR Fox. The ref's kind of counting. Dude has a munchkin haircut. We represent
the Lollipop Guild, the Tony Khan Guild, the Tony Khan Guild.
Yeah, for a big tough guy, he's got an interesting hair choice.
He reminds me more and more of Sean O'Hare, honestly. Respectfully. Not in, obviously, the negative shit with Sean O'Hare, because he's one of my favorite pro wrestlers of all time. But just this super jack guy that you would never expect to be able to move as athletically as he does. Like, this man can still hit a swanton and shit like that.
Yeah. I think he's going to do great things in WWE.
Facts. NXT, look out. You got your new world champion right here on Dynamite.
Wardlow, Braun Breaker, WrestleMania 44.
They got a fucking tag team and they just murder everybody. Total elimination.
The Singlet Sensations. Let's go.
I like to sing about the sun and the moon and the spring.
That's amazing. They should come out to that. Built just like him. Yeah. Speaking of the devil, what's Sammy Guevara up to? He had a baby.
Why'd you turn Scottish for that?
I don't know.
He had a baby.
He had a baby. Yeah, I don't know. I guess now he can.
His name is Donkey.
Donkey. And this match is about to come to an end. What did Gamer say? Back to Gamer had the point that I kind of wanted to touch on of if it's anybody but Adam Cole, it's a bust. And I feel the same way.
I agree. And can I just say, Wardlow is everyone's, like, from 2000 to current day, Wardlow is your creator wrestler of, man, just out here looking brolic as shit, athletic as shit. I hit swantons and fucking
the jack high
bombs and everything. I am just the baddest motherfucker. Like, that's the thing is there's so much potential in here.
Oh yeah, no, that's Wardlow looks great, and he does. Wardlow was on fire, guys. Just turn back, rewind your videotapes, and you'll see.
When he's on top of the cage, you said that was like the peak. It all went down from there.
That's exactly it. Is when he was on top of that cage, and it just it fizzled out, and it's unfortunate because you could push Wardlow as a babyface, you could push him as a champion, you could push him as a heel champion. You can push him, push him
100%. Push it out, shove it out.
Speaking of having babies,
right? But 100%. But even. You can do the angle spots to where he takes the straps down. Like I said, this man is a creator wrestler come to life, and you can't figure out how to book the fucker. Like, that's on you. That's not on him. That's on you.
the big bodyguard of the heel that gets mistreated, that turns on the baby face or turns on the heel, becomes a baby face, goes after the championship, gets the championship, and then it's just you feed him bad guys. You feed him, instead you fed him security. But they're showing the replay of the Dante Martin. It's rough as that's coming up
Yeah.
next.
Things. Toes are supposed to go that way, not that way. Yeah, no, this, like I said, is a creator wrestler. You took Sean O'Hare's moveset, you gave him Batista's storyline, you gave him fucking Kurt Angle's attire, and you gave him Bill Goldberg's fucking physique. And you're amazed that you can't draw money with that. That's on you.
A little bit. You're not wrong. Like, I mean, you really do have so much potential. But here comes the Hardys with Brother Zay.
Yeah, again, speaking of the throwback jerseys instead of the alternate jerseys.
How does Dante Martin come back from that injury prior to Darius coming back from any injury? Or not Darius, the other private party guy. Did he quit? Is he fired?
Oh, I don't even know at this point. It's so funny that Social Gathering right now is the bigger tag team than Private Party. And the reason we call them Social Gathering is because they felt like a knockoff of Private Party.
Right. But as this amazing bout begins to get ready, I'm going to...
Yeah, this is a great Sunday night heat fight.
Oh, yeah. Enjoy the heat. I'm out.
All right, yeah, fair enough. As Cage is going to take a pause for the cause, as I have Top Flight. So we finally do have the Martin brothers back together. And Christ, if Action Andretti doesn't look like their cousin or something, 100%. This literally looks like you showed up at the wrong house for Thanksgiving coming out right now. Or, well, especially around Thanksgiving, all your cousins that have to have that little cipher before, we all just pig out on turkey and everything. But again, like I said, are we not the no mowing blood the no flight, the no fly zone? I'll give them that. Hardy for the win. Fair enough. Yeah, well, again, I was about to say, well, that's the throwback jersey versus the alternative jersey. But oh, there we go. Scott, I'm at the show. I got Top Flight. Well, Scott, throw up a sign, throw up a hand sign, anything like that. Let us know so we can try and spot you, my guy, if you're at the show. And trust me, you would not be the first to be at a show and watching us at the same time. But I very much appreciate it. We've had homies, like we had Sign Guy Wrestling out there who was out at WrestleMania 39 and watching us on the stream. So 100% appreciate you, my guy. And appreciate the super chat while you're at the show. But yeah, give us the fucking AE here. Give us the fucking code sign so we can spot you out here. Tell some friends, Scott. Yes, 100%. Good choice, Scott. A fine promotion to support. There you go. Yes, the Wrestling for Life Network is a great promotion to support. So I will remind everybody, be a friend, tell a friend, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. 100%. We just passed 3K subscribers and still moving like a jet engine. So 100% as I smash the sugar honey iced tea out of my microphone, as I've got Jeff Hardy and Action Andretti right now in a wrist lock tie-up. That's what I really expected from a match full of high flyers, is fucking technical holds. Great string Flair and now the Hardys. I don't mind the Hardys if they like the Hardys would still be a in the mix tag team in WWE. If that's where they decided to go. I think here it would work a lot better if you built them as the Hardys versus this, halfway broken Matt. Jeff's kind of doing whatever. Jeff's got his own can of worms that I'm amazed he's still in a pro wrestling ring in 2023. As I've got Dante and Brother Zay. That's the only way I can remember this man out of Social Gathering here. Man, the Hardys is looking so odd. Old. You missed an L in typing old, Richard, but I appreciate that. If you're going to a show, take a still shot of the music video Safety Dance so Nick and KJ can identify you. The song by Men and How did we get into the air of you can dance if you want to, you can leave your friends behind? The Acclaimed are the trios champs. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. As I'm in picture right now, I was at Cody versus Malachi's first match at Daly's Place. Was like 3 rows black, nice Hawaiian shirt. Was on TV, looking good. Well, fair enough, Mike. Appreciate you. Well, now if you go to another show, now you can let us know. And granted, if you were at the first show at Daly's Place, was that because it was the blurst of times, and there might have been only 3 rows that you could have sat in, so that's why you were in the 3rd row. But no, 100% you can have that. Trust me. Anytime you can go to a live pro wrestling event, 100%, whether it be WWE, AEW, any sort of local show, anything like that, Wrestling Revolver, etc. We cover anything and everything. GCW, 100% if you're there. The best gift that you can give anybody out there, as we are in the season of giving, is the gift of wrestling. So if you're at any show, if you're in any wrestling chat room, anything like that, let them know about us 100%. Keep growing the evil empire out here. As like I said, I'm in commercial break, and I've got Jeff Hardy taunting both of the he's taunting both Martin brothers. Now, isn't this supposed to be kind of theoretically Team Babyface versus Team Babyface? Who's supposed to be working heel here, I feel? The Hardy's looking good. Jeff looking healthy. No more limping. Yeah. Quitting drinking. We'll do that. I can't wait for Swerve versus Jay. Going to be a banger of a match. Is none of this, though, the point? The only thing that we're really looking forward to with Dynamite tonight is you've got one really great match, and the rest we're going to get through. There are going to be some decent matches, but we're really only looking forward to one thing here. And this one is getting kind of sad that Matt's milking Jeff this much money to stay on TV. You said it. I might agree with you, but you said it. I think the devil is a female one. Well, Britt Baker's even said it ain't hers, so who else would it be, Richard? That's the thing, is you even had a lot of people initially, especially after the whole little music video that AEW did, expected that it could be Britt Baker. And she very poignantly exclaimed, "It's not me. It was never going to be me." Now, granted, I feel like some people are going to be out there, and that's exactly what I'd expect the devil to say. Yeah, no, I think it's going to be a male competitor. It's going to be an interesting little weird faction. I do think, honestly, it's going to be under delivering, underperforming. I think it's going to be underwhelming, especially now that CM Punk is gone. That was the Hail Mary of all Hail Marys that Tony Khan and the gang could have pulled out. That would have been the shot heard around the world if CM Punk was still back in AEW and he was the devil going after MJF. And now that that's off the table, it's so weird of how even Adam Cole almost feels like it's off the table. But now it feels like it's lost even that extra bit of steam that it had. At this point, it's going to cut that one, as I've got Matt and Action Andretti right now firing up. Side effect from Matt Hardy on the Andretti. Is it interesting that really neither of the Martin brothers have gotten involved with this? And granted, I'm all fine for a Hardy Boys versus Martin Brothers kind of feud, but it's a little interesting to have this on your main show. Give me this, maybe a Rampage, something like, give this a little bit, maybe more build. I can see how we play out of this, but I don't know. If Baker's the devil and they work, I'm jealous you've been spending so much time with my boyfriend Angle. They may as well rename AEW to Degrassi. Well, we've already heard talks that Monday Night Raw might end up on the same company. Could you imagine? Well, we've already got NXT on. I don't want to wait for my life to be over. If WWE Monday Night Raw ends up on the same company in the same channel as AEW, I think respectfully, that is checkmate. That is the ultimate. I'm not going to end you move, but you're going to know the fuck that I am here. That is the checkmate of anytime you slip up, it is 100% a moment for me to capitalize. Is if Monday Night Raw ends up on Turner Television. Dante on Fire says, Justin. Yeah. Top Flight wins. Boston, you getting the win. White or Swerve, they both need wins. So, yeah, we'll get to there when we get to that match. But, yeah, who are you taking already? Jay White or Swerve? Why not Drive? Yeah, Swerve. Why not Drive? I think Swerve he's the next equivalent that you have lined up to be an MJF or anything like that. That you could build your company behind is Swerve, respectfully, at this point. Would we see crossovers if they land on the same channel? Excuse me. No. No. Two count. I almost wonder. That would be the ultimate. Where does AEW go from here at that point? Do you tie into it? Like, it would be super interesting if they tie into it as Darius just meets Jeff going for the whisper in the wind and just meets him with an elbow. Is Action Andretti with a moonsault off the barricade on the mat as we're countering a suplex in the ring. Oh, Darius was setting up for a belly to back suplex. But 100%, yeah, if they're on the same network, you're not seeing crossovers. I wonder how much they cooperate amongst each other. And that's when you, as AEW, you have to hit the panic meter. Not saying that you pack it in, game's over, but you could very much end up like an Impact and end up on like Pop TV or something like that. Hi.
I was just going to say,
speaking of Pop.
We had the end of the match, that's all. So Dante Martin got the 1, 2, 3. So didn't mean to interrupt you there, but Dante Martin successful upon his return in what I felt was a meh kind of match.
As you see by how much I was talking about other things besides the match.
Up next, Julia Hart and Emmy.
Oh, yeah.
If Raw goes to TBS, goodbye AEW. It'd be very interesting. And right now, the rumor is that AEW is having trouble negotiating their new deal with TNT. That is very interesting. We see the numbers on Collision, we see the numbers on Rampage, and we see the numbers on Dynamite. Like, I know some people think they're wonderful, but again, it's you probably get more for reruns of old shows. So it's something that it will be very interesting in the next little while here is, does AEW have a home?
Well, that, like I said before you popped in and everything like that, that was the question that was thrown to me of if Monday Night Raw goes to TBS or anything like that, because that's one of the top 2 or 3 landing spaces right now for Monday Night Raw. What does that say for AEW? Do we get crossovers? Do we get them playing nice amongst each other? Or is this more of, thanks for coming, we don't need you anymore? This is, Annie dropping Woody into the cardboard box of, I don't want to play with you anymore.
I do not believe the WWE would agree to a deal if AEW was still going to be a part of the umbrella. I think that would be a part of the negotiations. We are the only wrestling that you show on your TV channels, and I think they would be adamant about it. And that could be a sticking point. We don't know how much time. Warner Brothers Discovery is involved in the bidding, but there's been lots of talk about it. So I don't see ever there being a crossover. I don't think the WWE, again, if you're Triple H and you don't really view AEW as competition, you're not sending your guys down to AEW to what? Do a job? Nah, that's a tough one. Is Tony going to let guys come in from WWE and have his guys do a job? Nah. I don't see much.
You don't
cooperation.
advertise the Dynamite on Wednesday on Monday Night Raw, vice versa. It would be
I
to
don't
me.
think WWE would be okay with it.
It would be to me the ultimate checkmate move. Of realistically, because the other two considerations that I've heard are Disney, which would be on FX, which we even talked earlier about with the ratings on FS1. If you move Monday Night Raw to FX, you're moving it to one of the smaller network options that you have. Dapping it up with Penta and
1, 2, 3. We're setting up a
Top Flight
match.
Fraternity.
Oh my god! You know this is going to be a fucking
lucha.
Give the mic to Alex. Penta says, "Let's have a match." They don't use Alex Abrahantes enough.
But that 100%, that, and I'm surprised to even think about it. You have the Hardy Boys in a match with what's supposed to a team called Top Flight, and no one, I think, reached the top rope. Like there was no flight involved. Everything was a failure to launch.
But yeah, you're not wrong. And again, it's the Hardy Boys in 2023 aren't the Hardy Boys of the past, and that was a bit of a filler match. And here comes Julia Hart with one of the best entrances in wrestling.
You're fine. But if Monday Night Raw goes to any sort of time, Turner Discovery, anything like that, Time Warner Discovery, anything, AEW, it's been nice. Have fun. Go and open the ShadCon network. Like I said, you'll end up on your Pop TV. You're on your TV Guide network and shit like that. You're straight to YouTube.
It'd be similar to what just happened in NWA.
At such a higher level, though.
Oh yeah. But the same idea of, oh wait, we can get in bed with these guys. Sorry.
But it's almost, but with the NWA, and I do agree with you. I'll just say with the NWA, you gave them the opportunity with the Tony Khan spot. With AEW, it's just at that point you just have to admit you aren't as good. Like you are the second option, because if I have the first option knocking on my door and I go with them and get rid of you, you are the second option. You are the side piece. You are not the main chick.
100%. Oh man, this match is crazy. Justin, I'm glad you liked it. My personal opinion was I didn't. To me, it wasn't the greatest of matches. That doesn't mean I'm right. Just it wasn't my cup of tea. I felt there was not a lot going on. And again, we'll see. Top Flight versus the Lucha Experience should be quite fun.
I fucking love that you called them the Lucha Experience, because they're the Viking Raiders of AEW.
Well, Vikingo, right?
Yeah, well, fair.
Hey, well, there's the method.
Oh, what comes around is all around.
Sports Illustrated said Warner Brothers Discovery was talking to WWE for the rights of SmackDown, so it's not entirely out of the question. Maybe that's why Warner Brothers Discovery is exercising the year option on AEW instead of a new deal. Possible.
Perhaps. And it's interesting. So USA's already got their obligation. They got Fridays. I don't want to wait for my life to.
That's a rough note.
Tuesday, I know. Trust me, if we ever get copyrighted for a song either one of us sings, it's a holy grail. Simon Cowell, you can eat a dick. But Monday Night Raw, 100%. The fact that the home of AEW, the home of, hey, Vince, I'm in the wrestling business, might have Monday Night Raw. As a wrestling fan of our vintage, just it feels so wrong, but feels so right.
Yeah, I mean, interesting times for sure. So, and I do think part of Warner Brothers Discovery taking that year option, if that in fact is what's going to happen, it is part of where have you grown? What do your stats? What are your analytics saying a year from now? Are you worth keeping around?
Oh, 100% as sports fans as I've got. Julia Hart into the ring steps right now on the outside. But yeah, as any sports fan in any sport, anytime you're like the player on your team has option that the team can use to take to their advantage, you use that just so you don't have to re-sign them to a multi-year deal. Just that's a tree out.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. We go to pitcher and pitcher. Emmy just pancaked Julia against the stairs.
I had her just stepping on her and walking away.
Zup, KJ and Big Nick. What's going on, Liam? How you doing? How you doing? Let's Nick said a throwaway show. Like
words doing are you how?
Yeah, no, you corrected there. There you go. Like Nick said, it's a throwaway show. So I'm not sure what you said. So
I don't know either. And I am the one who said it.
I'm just happy to be here, folks.
Right. I'm right. I just do things.
Emmy will be able to carry Julia if she misses, but Emmy is boring in the ring. Listen, Emmy's Emmy, but as far as AEW goes, is she not just viewed as a jobber, a lady we see once in a blue moon to do, to put in 10, 15 minutes with Hikaru Shida? Like, yeah.
To put it in this way, and I kind of hate putting it this way, she's a steady hand. She's out there. You'll get a good match. Won't be great. Won't be anything spectacular, but you can still have a good match. Win, lose, or draw, any sort of way with whoever.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you touched on this one yet, but putting any show on a Saturday night is stupid. UFC holds practically weekly events. That show is doomed and has hurt AEW more than it helped. Well, we know why they did it originally. And again, one of the other benefits of Punk being gone now is you can try and fix it. And right now, there's less interest post-Punk than there was when you had Punk. That being said, our friend Anthony was like, man, it would be nice if WWE dropped an hour of Raw and brought back an hour of Sunday Night Heat. I was like, my man.
Been saying this 100%. Absolutely. Huge fan of Sunday Night Heat. But the whole show on Saturday, that's what even people were saying initially when it's, oh, well, CM Punk got his own show and everything. Right, but you gave it to him on Saturday, prime time with everything else. So you're already setting the 8 ball against it. Which is fun. And he turned it around, and then it fucking went sour.
Yeah, over broken glass everywhere.
Right. Sorry.
And it's just about the money, so we just don't care.
Right.
But yeah, no, I mean, at the end of the day, dude, Punk, to his credit, Mr. Cancer, according to the AEW faithful, he didn't say, oh, this sucks. He didn't bitch and moan. What he said was, well, we should have an easier time selling tickets to live events than the Wednesday night show because more people are inclined to be out. So he, to his credit, found the positive in it, and they were putting on great shows when Collision started.
That's the thing with Punk is there's so much of him that he's doing right for the business, but there's so much that's open to you can paint the narrative.
I said it last night, Dickie Ora.
Pause. That you cannot say that name without saying pause. Now I almost want to change my fucking fantasy football team to Dickie Ora.
Dickie Ora.
Facts. Actually, you know what? You keep talking. I'm gonna do that right now.
Julia is on Emmy's back right now with the choke. Aubrey, check it in.
And Aubrey reffing a lot of matches tonight.
Bum. CW offered Khan a spot for Ring of Honor before they talked to the WWE about NXT. Khan said no because the offer was too low. If he pisses Warner Brother Discovery off and wants more money than they'll pay, it'll come back to bite him. This is a very good question because Warner Brother Discovery is going to base their financial offer on analytics, on facts, not what the rabid Twitter fan thinks. Not what, the diehard faithful, what Tony Khan and Jericho and the Bucks think about the show. We're putting on the hottest shows we've ever put on. Time Warner doesn't give a fuck. What are the analytics? And if Tony Khan feels like they're worth more than that, it will be an issue. It will be interesting. Emmy's Emmy's tapping, I think.
Yeah, she's tapping. She's literally
Wait,
how
what the fuck? Was
Aubrey,
she
are
not
you
tapping?
blind? Deaf, dumb, and blind. She was tap, 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 taparoo.
Aubrey says, nay, no kick out.
We're right, Wilbur.
No, I mean, it looked like she was tapping the back of that woman's head, but maybe I'm crazy.
She was tapping 100%. Tap, tap, taparoo.
Right.
And Aubrey, because I've got to be the star. Aubrey, I've got to be the star Edwards.
Aubrey becoming the. Oh, wait, what was that?
She overshot the moonsault is what that was. Aubrey has become the fucking
this match is fire.
She's become the Hebner of AEW.
Come on.
You almost become more of the match than the match.
Yeah. Oh man, she's becoming the fucking Mario Yamazaki of fucking wrestling refs.
Name me another fucking referee that's out there having meet and greets that are right there up next to the fucking pro wrestlers and everything like that. Like, I didn't know they put horse stables next to pro wrestlers.
Yeah. This match is fire. Come on, Joseph. I see him say here, guys, there's a wrestling show happening. Yeah, we're specifically talking about the wrestling show.
Right. It's just that's what's happening.
There's nothing to what do you want us to say? That was a great 6-minute match, I guess. I mean, it was a botched ending. So again, let's just call it the way we see it. Doesn't mean you hate AEW. Doesn't mean you're not a faithful fan. But that was a botched ending. It was a sloppy match. It was okay at best. That's it.
Right.
It's okay. Not all the matches are going to be 5 stars.
Can I be honest and say I'm not a fan of Maria May and I don't get it?
I don't know yet. I'm the jury's out for me.
Don't worry, the plastic surgeon isn't out.
Right? She's the curator of people.
And faces, because she needed to fucking meld them all together to make that shit.
House rules, Julia only wins by pinfall. Is that what happened there? All right. Okay.
House rule, no bounces. What in the name of fucking frat shit was that?
Right. Missed the moonsault.
I hope she's not interrupting a meeting as Maria May going into Tony Khan. As in, I hope he's not interrupting.
Yeah, up next, Christian Cage coming out to address Edge's challenge. This one, I like this. Anthony, how you doing? Happy birthday, Anthony. Everybody get in this chat right now and wish Anthony a happy birthday. Everybody.
Happy birthday, Anthony. Happy.
But the Hat Attack says
oh, fuck. That's going to be his new name now. It's
Hat
just
Attack.
A fucking Hat Attack. What is a Connecticut or a New Englander trying to say heart attack? What is a Hat Attack?
Like, is he? Yeah, I got the people in New England asking if he's okay.
Right, I was gonna say, my guy, I'm out there. I'm like, you're out there calling this man a Hat Attack. I was like, okay, is he good? Elizabeth.
We got security out here with Christian, so he's prepared.
Half the security came out of their mom's basement for this fucking shit and just put on a black polo.
JV, hot blonde chick. This is booing. What?
AKA JV's just letting you know his type.
Oh, good.
Has everyone saying happy birthday to Anthony?
She did it as a favor to Matthew. Oh, the boos for Christian.
Somebody botched that shit.
KJ checked out during that match. LOL, it was a struggle match. Again, listen, it's all due respect. It wasn't a good match. For people who watch matches in the knockouts division, for people who watch NXT, for people who watch WWE on a lot of nights, that match is not in a fair comparable, and it just wasn't great. And a sloppy finish. I love Julia Hart. I think she's got a lot of talent. Emmy's Emmy, and we're not assholes for not liking that match.
AEW, it's the fucking I even forgot my own joke because I popped in Anthony's out here saying thanks everyone, laughing at the hat attack. But no, so that's what I was going to say. AEW is the struggle bus of pro wrestling.
The struggle
The
cuddle?
struggle bus, it is 100%. You got to struggle to get into those matches. You got to have struggling to book those matches. Everything. It is the struggle bus.
Right. Won't be surprised if Copeland spears all the security guards. I'm kind of with that. I think that's how this is going to play out. Christian rolls out. Edge lays out a bunch of security. AEW leaves you speechless. That is very accurate, Mike. Sometimes for great reasons, sometimes for others.
No, most times for others. Not sometimes, most times. Things that make you go, huh?
My local Walmart has more. Your Walmarts have secure, like you guys have like legit security at Walmart?
No, when I worked for Target, we had TPS and everything like that, to where you had dudes that were literally looked like uniformed officers that had a badge, but their badge had the little Target logo in the center of it.
I see clearly.
Yeah, out here with the Scully. Again, looking like fucking Opie from Sons of Anarchy out here.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're getting a very Aces and Eights vibe tonight.
Yeah, right. It's Aces and Eights around. Can he come out to Rolling by fucking Limp Bizkit?
No, that well, WWE's got to own the right. That's why people were saying, see, they did a re-release of Cult of Personality, and that's why CM Punk came out to that.
Yeah, rumor is that Triple H himself made the call to get that song.
Bro, we've talked about it. This man had Slipknot as the NXT theme. Like, let's not fuck around. This man is a metalhead.
All the metal. There you go. Lots of love. Lots of love. That's it. I think I can get balloons to come up. 2 count. 2 count.
Damien, I don't think we missed a super chat. Oh, we did actually.
Hey, Richard!
From Richard, $5. Appreciate you, my guy. Sorry, Damien.
Nick clicked the bottom. I blame him.
I didn't do shit. Is it just me, or does it feel like Edge won the feud at Full Gear and I'm ready for him to move on? A little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, again, it's that interesting thing where we talk about the booking of Edge comes back, and instead of just getting at, okay, he's got to beat Luchasaurus, fine. But it's dragged on, right? We had all these extra segments as, Christian tells the security to leave. We're not going to make it to Montreal. Go fuck yourself.
I'm sorry for how much I'm about to beat your ass.
Christian, the Corey Perry of wrestling.
Oh.
Only some people are going to
Wilson.
Yeah, only some people are going to get that, but
that's fine. Don't worry.
Too soon?
No, not at all too soon. And trust me, the only people that get that are the only people that deserve to get that.
Yeah.
What you called this man Kill Switch?
Oh! Even the crowd reacted to it.
Why?
Even the crowd reacted to that shit.
I missed it. I talked.
Oh, because he called him Luchasaurus and then corrected, and the crowd was like, "Oh, you fucked up."
That's what his name should be. Not this fucking Kill Switch Engage shit.
You call him Kill Switch you call him Kill Switch the week that you killed him. Great.
Why?
Shouldn't he be taking some people out if you're going to rename him Kill Switch? Am I wrong? Am I asking too much?
It's he's just fitting more and more, like I said, to where he's Kanosaurus. He's Lucha Kane, everything like that. He is not Luchasaurus. He is 100% just supposed to be this monster that just shows up and chokeslams people.
Right. I got to acknowledge Daniel here because that's a pretty good one. Is happy birthday, Anthony. Congrats on making it another year of not jobbing to the Grim Reaper. That's poetic.
As we can all hope to.
Right? Nobody wants to do a job to that fucker.
Yeah, I'd rather take a job to ambiance, abeyance, vacant than the good old Grim.
Yeah, no, Richard, we apologize for missing that 100%, but we greatly appreciate the love. We always get to the super chat.
Right. Damn, shots fired. Nick TK White Powder Party. He's just baking confectionery sugar.
That's it. It's our truth.
Right.
With the jelly rolls.
The platinum fucking jelly rolls. That is one of the greatest things in such a long time.
Oh, I heard you guys need a fifth for War Games. Huh?
Huh? What?
Later, I'm going to fall asleep. Oh, don't do. Well, leave us on. Just put your phone on your nightstand. We'll talk you to sleep. Maybe.
Wake up.
Maybe not. We yell a lot.
No, right. I'll just fuck with you. You will subscribe to the Wrestling for Life Network. We'll just all do the fucking hypnotherapy shit.
Yeah, that's right. Be a
ASMR of pro wrestling.
So now we're having a heart-to-heart here, guys. How do we feel about what's happening in the ring right now, folks?
Jesus Christ, Christian's been talking a while.
But this is what I feel like we should have got earlier. Instead of all the other stuff that we got, and Sting and Darby and the face paint, I felt like we could have got to this, the meat of the matter, quicker.
But the only way I do this is if I'm going to a pay-per-view. I don't do this.
But they just had one.
Right. Had one, but aren't now.
Well, they're gonna fight in Montreal, which will probably lead to a fight at World's End. We are family.
We are family. I got all my subscribers with me.
Well, Damien's asking that question. How do we feel about the? I don't hate it. I don't love it, but it's not exciting. Nick Wayne's mom's the coolest thing about this whole thing.
She's got it going on. She's all I want, and I waited for so long. No, this is poutine from a fast food restaurant instead of poutine fresh. Pause. See, I had to make it a Canadian reference there.
Right? There you go. I was like, did somebody say that?
No, I just had to make a Canadian reference.
There you go. Let's be together. Let's do this. See, I remember going into Full Gear, I said, what if Edge turned on Sting and Darby and they decided to join each other? I think they would have garnered so much heat.
It's not going to happen. No. Yeah, right. But you leave so much money on the table. I mean, I know that's what Tony's good at, but fuck. No.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh,
no. Oh, I hate that. I hate that. Go ahead. That was comical as shit.
Yeah, I've seen more nut shots in the last 14 days than I have in all of the rest of the year.
We just watched Canadian gets hit with football and groin on AEW Dynamite right now.
I was saying,
Hans Christian Moleman just got hit with foot and groin. Nice. Turn that son bitch sideways and stick it straight up your Maple Leaf candy ass.
Big pop for Edge. Oh, hey. Go fuck!
Is it bad that the whole climax of that promo was just?
You know what the funny part is?
The shit of that way too late. The whole crowd was chanting, "Go!"
The beep was a month late. The beep so Edge tells Christian to go F himself, returning the favor. And I didn't say it because I'm gonna put this in a clip, but yeah, man, the guy with the button who screwed up the earlier thing, he did it again.
Yeah.
That beep was a month late.
He already swore, and we moved past it. The crowd's chanting the square, and then you hit the button. Yeah, that was.
Oops.
I get the whole end line and everything. That's fine. I don't mind that. Everything before that was like It was Hans Christian Moleman gets hit with, dick kicking groin.
No, absolutely. I mean, it was again. I've seen a lot of that. Last night, I don't know if you saw the spot, but the catapult into Bronson Reed's
Yeah,
throat, so to
in
speak.
the nether regions. Yeah.
But we've had a lot of like, just punts to the groin, punts to the groin, punts to the groin. Some of these wrestlers could fucking kick for the Bills.
No. The best kick of all time is for the fucking Eagles because that man hit 59 yards in a fucking torrential downpour. Just to even send that shit to overtime. So game recognized game. I can respect that.
Right. Justin's feeling it. He liked the Christian. That's good. I didn't mind it. I don't mind it. And at least it had passion. It was personal. It's not frivolous reasons to be mad at each other. And yeah, I mean, I'm okay with him dropping the F-bomb. I'm not offended by it. I do find it funny that the beep came in a month later, but other than that,
Right, yeah.
it felt a bit long, but we got there.
It felt like you were making up for like 3 weeks of missed promos in one promo.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot you could have stretched out that you just tried to jam pack. Like I said, we were out here and we're like, and Christian's still talking.
Yeah.
And Christian's still talking. Like, oh, what else do you want me to say? And Christian is still talking.
All for that, and it was so effing predictable. Holy waste of time. So Justin loved it. Boston not as much. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it was okay. I didn't hate it.
As we haven't
Right?
unveiled the new AEW belt.
No.
Because you watch, it'll be like the international championship or something. But we've got the Ring of Honor and the New Japan titles both at ringside. As we've got main event time. As we've got Jay White coming out right now.
I didn't even realize it was that late in the eve already. We are setting up for the main event. There's about 15 minutes on the clock. The match is 20 minutes. So that would imply we are probably getting some bleed over, or this match isn't going the full length.
Who you got in this match, sir? I can go first if you'd like.
It's gotta be Swerve.
Yeah, Swerve. 1-arm drive. Yeah, Swerve. 1-arm drive. Yeah, he's right now. If there is a guy, if MJF leaves and goes to WWE, you still have a guy like Swerve who you can hitch your wagon to, because I think he doesn't want to go there. He's one of those that's bought into the Bible of AEW. He probably had an offer when Flop Dollar and BFAB and everything went back.
Remember, the Vince McMahon WWE is different than the Triple H WWE. That's the difference. Valid. So I say never. That's why I think Sasha Banks. Like I went on the record of Sasha Banks will be back in WWE because
I think there's some though that would rather be in a more shallow pool than swim in the ocean.
You're not wrong. I think Swerve wants to be a megastar though. I think he wants to be in the movies. He wants to be in the music videos. He wants to be tapped in. Again, he wants to be the first ever Black AEW champion. So he has aspirations with this company. That to me would drive him further than anything else. So
if you have Swerve in WWE right now, you could have Swerve 1-arm drive as a theme for a WWE premium live event, I feel.
Yeah, kind of, right? So
that's that'd be their whole TikTok is just everybody on the roster doing the Prince Nana dance.
Yeah, we would be talking about how many TikTok impressions Swerve when I drive.
Yeah, Swerve when I drive. Yeah, Swerve when I drive.
And listen, Nana would get over huge.
100%. You give me a Heyman, you give me a Roman and Swerve confrontation and a Heyman versus Nana kind of standoff. You have Nana, he doesn't even have to cut a promo. He just out there dancing. And Heyman will lose his fucking mind.
So, and here's the
Go ahead. No, you're good.
No, finish that one.
No, that was literally it. Go ahead.
Well, here's the pickle they're in right now with this main event here tonight. Swerve's on the come up. Like Swerve's rolling. He's hot. People like him. Nana's got him over as well. We just talked about what kind of star he is. You know, he is a guy that you could see be a world champion. But Jay White was a guy that came into a lackluster introduction after being a big deal signing, had a lackluster run at MJF, lost to a one-legged man.
Mm.
If he continues to take L's, what do you do with Jay White?
But that gets to be the scary thing with guys like Ospreay, guys like MJF. If he's signed an extension or anything like that with AEW, you might be looking at the back door. FDR, we know, has signed an extension. You might be trying to find an escape clause here. But I think that's also what's led up to. This is still, if you're AEW and you stay your fucking lane, this is still foundation. This is still the building blocks you have to build a fucking company on. And boy, howdy, are you a good number two if you've got Swerve, Jay White, MJF, Kenny Omega. Like, you have depth of talent.
Yeah.
Just quit pot shotting at Big Brother and stay your fucking lane.
And that's always been the thing of, I mean, sometimes I think they overvalue it, but at the same time, there's not a lack of talent in AEW. And anybody that comes on or jumps on the internet and says AEW has no talent, well, they're equally as guilty and they're not paying attention to this product, because there is a shit ton of talent here. I think one of the reasons why you and I express
you just signed Ospreay.
Yeah. I think why you and I express a frustration so often is we were there when it was in its heyday, when they were banging it out and banger after banger and unforgettable pay-per-views and big surprises. It's just it's got away from that, and we're critical because we want to see it get back to the glory days. Glory days.
Well, no, it was, we were there when AEW was able to punch and two-piece with the soda on the side WWE, and now it's gotten back to you woke up a sleeping giant and they hit you with a right cross right across the chin. And it's now, how do you respond to that? And do you crumble and fold, or can you answer the bell and how you doing, keep it moving? That's really the question, because there's not ever a question of a depth of talent. The question with AEW, I feel, is an overabundance of talent, of how do you get everybody over? How do you make everybody work? Anything like that.
And again, it's about making stars. If you want to be on that level at this, you have to make stars. You have to make people that when they're in public, people know, oh, that's so-and-so. That's what you want. You want that notoriety. You want, like, the MJF doing all the morning shows, and you got to make the stars. You can't just, oh, we got a lot of good talent. What are you doing with the talent?
Hey, shout out, dude, fucking in the security there, but going ham. But no, it's one of those of, if you're going to deliver, if you're going to build it on, you're going to stake your claim on match quality, then every match has to be a fucking barn burner.
Yeah.
You can't have weak sauce, applesauce, because that's going to just throw a damper into everything.
Yeah.
You're fighting from underneath right now. You need to fucking either just say, hey, I've had enough of this fight. Let me just go train some bit, or just start throwing haymakers.
Big kick. Nice DDT by Jay White.
Yeah.
Now, this was my original theory that Swerve and Jay were going to go to a time limit draw. That was, but looking at the clock, they might be tight pressed to pull off a time limit draw.
Yeah.
We haven't had one yet.
But can you do a time limit draw when you have, when you know you have, like you said earlier, that expectation of you might run some bit over?
Yeah, I think they don't fear from that. So, I mean, I'd expect it if they go, but that might be the out here, is a time limit draw between the two. Justin Michael says this match is insane. Justin, in all respect, did you say that 4 minutes into the match beginning?
Right, it hasn't even reached its fucking peak here.
We haven't done anything yet. A couple of kicks. That's the problem. Okay. Booking White in that travesty of a Cirque du Soleil match with Commander did him no favors. None. No, Commander looked better than Jay did.
Right. Oh, no, where was it? Has AEW been good tonight, James?
I thought he said it had been good tonight. I was like,
drinking the full Tony Khan Kool-Aid, because never drink the Kool-Aid, even if it's Flavor Aid. But yeah.
He's okay. I thought AEW's been good tonight. My opinion is it's been a good show. I've enjoyed a lot of what happened here tonight. It went fast. There are some holes in the game, but overall, not a bad Dynamite.
Right. As picture-in-picture break. I would like to see Adam Page in WWE. They can use
No.
him well. He'll be top guy on NXT.
Again, I don't know. I think Page's personality, like
Good
Page ends up,
US champ. Good US champ.
but does he not end up being like a small Drew McIntyre where he just can't?
You got to give him time. That's
Yeah,
the thing is everybody's going to want somebody to go there and be world champ within the next year.
yeah, I know.
Most of these guys, like a Starks,
Mhm.
a Hangman Page, most of these guys, if they go over there, even a Jade's maybe an outlier, just because the women's division is a little shallower.
Mhm.
But most of these guys, you go there, they're getting a mid-card title run before they even Carmelo and Braun have been in the system and aren't world title contenders yet.
No, I mean, again, they're going to go through the process, right? I mean, again, even with Jade, who was arguably one of your top, if not the top women's draw in your company, you know, they've got her in the performance center. They're training her. They're getting her ready.
You already
And
have rumors of buyer's remorse, which I fucking
which
hate.
it's bullshit.
Yeah.
There's no buyer's remorse. That's a, you know, that's a superstar in the making. So they're making sure they do it right. And they, again, it's protecting your investment and it's preparing her. You
That's
don't just rush
shit
everything.
to have about a human being, though, is calling it buyer's remorse.
Yeah, that's also true.
Right.
They bleeped it a second late. What are you, Aubrey Hepburn with that counting? Hepburn? Ref
They
Aubrey?
were taking a lesson from the, tantalizing Tony Storm out there. Day late and a dollar short on most shit.
Are you looking forward to the match between Adam Copeland and Christian next week? Yeah. In Montreal. It should be fun. The crowd should be very much into it.
I was going to try and come up with something in French Canadian, and I can't.
Tabernacle.
Tabernacle. There we go.
Him losing to MJF. Damn, my brain sometimes. What did I miss? Oh, on the other side, you have Roman beating top talent, but the difference is the feud gives growth to the baby face on the other end, and keeps him strong in the loss. TK screwed White. Not KJ. Jay.
I was going to say, KJ, do you have a statement?
Accusations.
Would you like to press charges against one Mr. Tony Khan?
Huge back body drop. Sorry, Nick. Yeah, no. I cannot comment on that due to legal ramifications.
Legal reason. Legally, I can't comment on that.
Yes, Roosh is Dragon Lee's brother. Tony was very upset when he found it. So was AAA, actually, when the news broke that he had signed with the other company. He did what?
Right. I signed you because of him.
Yeah, he was supposed to be part of Los Ingobernables, but no longer.
Well, it's like when you get one Kachuk brother and you don't get the second Kachuk brother.
How much Chuck could a woodchuck?
How much Kachuk could a hockey team Kachuk if they could chuck wood?
Head scissors into a flatliner.
What that was like a random somersault, look what I can do into a fucking pulls them up for a suplex.
Wow, 2 count, 2 count, 2 count. Good match.
Whose house? Swerve's house.
Whose house?
Braun's house. My name is Sheikh Zula, the Mike Ruler.
So is the devil Wardlow in AEW? No.
The devil went down to AEW. He was looking for a soul to steal. He found Jack Parrott. He was fine.
This match is a banger. Say that 10 times fast, Nick. Don't. He'll try, guys. Don't encourage him. Oh
no, it's one of those of I'd be telling lies.
Jay White with the reversal, now into the suplex.
Gut wrench there, belly to back suplex. Discus clothesline.
Both men down, clap from the crowd. Good start to this one. Now Justin can say this match is fire.
Yeah, well, we still got about 4 minutes left here. But so who you taking? Big pressure. Yeah,
Swerve. It's got to be Swerve.
But that is so interesting. Think about it. Jay White was oh my God, they stole him from WWE. And you've done fucking all with him. I'm wondering, and I'm worried that Ospreay might be that next on that shelf of you're put up there of the pedestal of we signed you for WWE, but we do fucking all with you.
People want to talk about Cody trying to finish the story at WrestleMania. It is a foregone conclusion right now. Will Ospreay will be holding that world title over his head at Wembley in 2024. I don't think anybody's doubting that. So we just hope it's compelling and the run around it is good and the build to it is good. But yeah, anybody else think otherwise, that he's not going to win that title at Wembley? To me, it feels like the AEW version of finish the story. Finish the story, Will.
Yeah, but if we're WWE with CM Punk, with Randy Orton, it's going to be Cody Rhodes and the never-ending story, I feel.
I mean, yeah, very interesting.
Two count. But yeah, it becomes one of those of you didn't finish it at 39 because you figured you could finish it at 40. Now 40 is getting a lot more cloudier, a lot more overcast than you anticipated here.
Absolutely. KJ Nick, do wrestlers regret leaving WWE to go to AEW? I don't think we can say, like, we don't know what's in their head, but I think it's like anything else. There's some wrestlers that do, and there's some wrestlers that don't. It's case by case.
I would say no, because I feel like most wrestlers that felt that way have already left that way.
But I do think there's some sitting around right now thinking, damn, and they can't wait to get home, as somebody put it. Like a Miro, perhaps, like maybe a Malachi Black, like wrestlers that are looking, especially under new regime, under new management, and Trips being so close to the wrestlers he did interact with. Yeah, I think there's some that kick themselves. I wonder if FTR is still happy about their re-signing.
That's very valid, but I do also feel that there's some that view it of, like we've talked about with others, of I'd rather be in this pool much more towards the top than in that other pool, to where I could be at the top or I could be, on main event.
But I do think that there's a collection of them that think that there would be something there for me. And again, it's the plethora of opportunity there, whether it's NXT or the main roster. But even if, like, a guy like Miro, who's not getting booked at all, or barely booked, or not really
booked because of his wife.
Well, yeah, who's not really officially signed, I don't believe. Oh, wow, nice move. Backdrop. Backbreaker.
Yeah, but there's 100% there's a group that are giving Tony Khan and the Elite and the EVPs and everything a little bit of a side eye now after they saw CM Punk show up at Survivor Series.
Yeah,
and saw that reaction and everything. There's some side eyes in the locker room.
Yeah, there's the Jerichos and the Moxleys of the world that the
coup de grace.
Coup de grace.
Two.
Big kick out.
That man kicked out at 2 9 3/4. This man's Harry Potter fucking finding his way to Hogwarts, because he kicked out at 9 3/4 there.
Yeah, no, it was close. But yeah, I think that, like anything else, I think there's loyal, former WWE guys that got mistreated or felt they got mistreated and are thrilled. Then there's other people that drank the, like, oh, this is going to be completely different and I can't wait to be a star, and it hasn't worked out so well for them, that would be eager to return from once they came.
You have Kool-Aid drinkers and you have non-Kool-Aid drinkers.
I want that purple stuff.
Right, yeah. Like I said before, you have, the Jim Jones Kool-Aid flavor aid drinkers, and you have the non-flavor aid drinkers.
Right.
I am not gang. I do not gang bang. Right. You have a good section of that roster that's like that.
Oh, rolls him back in. But to your point, like a Swerve might be thrilled with what he's doing. The freedom to move around, the freedom to work the independents, the freedom to work on his music.
You ain't having somebody drinking your own blood in a fucking match in WWE. You're doing that in AEW.
Fair enough. Right?
I am not gang. I do not gang bang. That's 100% here. Oh, going for Sister Abigail.
Oh, sorry, back elbow.
It's going to be instead of Blade Runner.
Sister Abigail. It will always be the Sister Abigail.
Yeah. Fuck
your Cody to finish story. For Cody to finish
spot.
Absolutely. For Cody to finish the story, Mr. Tribal Chief needs to stop taking PTO.
Well, if you got to use it or lose it, somebody who's been out there, well, I'd rather take it and take a break and get paid to take a break. Two count.
3!
What the fuck?
On a roll-up, Jay White goes for the sister. Well, we know it's not the
Blade Runner.
Right? He goes for the Blade Runner and turns into a roll-up. And Swerve steals a win here in the main event, folks.
And just laughing at him, though. I will give him that. I literally didn't even see how we got to the pin. I didn't even think it was going to be a 3 count. So 2 minutes over.
Yeah, so a little bit over here. What is, like, you see the look on Jay White's face, man? Like, Jay White needs to have something change.
We were talking about earlier last year about the ideas of Jay White and Cody Rhodes, Jay White and Seth Rollins, Jay White and Roman Reigns. And now we've got Jay White and 0-2 in a tournament after he went 0-1 to the World Heavyweight Champion. Like, sometimes the grass ain't always greener, to quote CM.
And you know what? It hurts because you got Juice sitting on the bench right now, hurt. And he was a big part of what was happening with the Bullet Club. No Ass Boys tonight. I know they're not allowed to be at ringside, but we didn't see them at all. So, yeah, I mean, a great main event, though. A very entertaining main event. Good. We had some good matches tonight. Again, not a bad show. We will take your rating out of 10, folks, as we've gone off the air. What do you think of Dynamite tonight?
I am incredibly surprised, though, that there was slim to no real film references. There was no Punk references. There was no nothing. Mm-hmm. It was the most we got was MJF mentioned WWE, and it was still one of those like, he said it.
Yeah, could be, right. That vague overtone. But yeah, I mean, I think it's wise. Like, I give Punk credit because, listen, one of the things that everyone shit on Punk for was being an asshole. And he came out the other night and he wasn't an asshole. And people were like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, like, what? Why are we getting...
Yeah, well, everyone took the high road here with this. Yeah. And all of us want to just take the low road. God damn it.
Yeah.
Just be petty.
And Nick, you know what? Truly, I believe lawyers are a big part of it.
Fair enough. I will give you that.
Even with Cody, a lot of people want to know what truly happened behind the scenes with Cody. And realistically, I think NDAs are a big thing.
There's someone that's going to have a legal team to fucking play enforcer. It's going to be Tony Khan and AEW. Sure.
Jim Cornette can't talk about the pre-AEW time he spent talking to Tony because he agreed to some NDAs at that time of like, I don't want anyone to know this.
Like, this man in 100% has just, when in doubt, lawyer up.
Right. Some ratings pouring in, so we will get to those, folks. The most devastating move in all of pro wrestling, the surprise roll-up. More roll-ups than a fucking elementary school lunchroom, guys.
I was waiting for you to get there. I was going to say, more roll-ups than a fucking Kellogg factory.
Right? It's like a carpet shop in this place.
The most devastating move in pro wrestling and the most tradable snack in a lunchroom cafeteria is a fruit roll-up.
Son of a bitch. Swerve win. Yes. Big win for Swerve. Not so good for Jay White. Yeah. It's a tough one. Switchblade next promo. I should have won. I fucked up.
Oh, you fucked up. You fucked up.
He should have been solo guy while still being in House of Black, in my opinion. Richard, the leader of House of Black, but doing singles. Yeah, 100% should have. I think it's been like 300 days since Malachi Black's had like a one-on-one match. Now that could have changed, but I can't think of a recent one.
No. But even then, I think it would have. Do you almost feel like there would have been enough runway for that to not overextend itself in WWE because there's enough talent and everything around that you almost run the risk of getting lost versus with this, we wanted it so much because there was nothing else to fill the void.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair argument. I mean, is it just out of necessity, right?
Right.
But
they need to be better. But anyways,
yeah. Triple H and Nick Khan was not at Raw. They were in Los Angeles working on a TV deal. Facts. That is very true. It was reported by a lot of people.
Don't worry. Hunter's wife was there, though.
So, Nick, any complaints you have about Raw, it was Bruce Pritchard's fault.
I know. Well, you can have that. I love you.
I love you. I would have loved more
Steph in the front row, though, by the way.
Right? Yeah, no, that's amazing. I like Steph being around. I think Steph's really good at what she does. What I find funny with this is, could you imagine Triple H and Khan in LA and your big signing, his segment gets cut? Tell me they weren't blowing up Bruce's phone of like, what the fuck?
But that's again, though, that goes back to my point, though. Like I said, tell me when I'm telling lies. When we had Monday Night Raw and we hear it's the night after CM Punk returns. Tell me you don't think he's kicking off the show.
I didn't.
You get announced that
the
first hour is going to be commercial free. Tell me when I'm telling lies that you don't think that's lining up for him. You're expecting all of this. And like I said, it's a little bit of, it's going on at the end of the show. It's still good. It's still good. It's a little.
I 100% thought that's what they were going to do. If you watch a lot of times with Roman Reigns and such, when Roman Reigns returns next week, we don't get anything to the end of the show. It's a very WWE thing to do. They were going for the numbers. They were going for the ratings. And they started the show with Randy fucking Orton, not some slouch. So
I'm not saying, and this is not going against Randy. Randy, we even they could have bookended this show with CM Punk for all we know about. You could have had Randy end the show. You could have had Randy in the middle show, and respect to Roman and everything like that. But Roman's going to be there. This is the biggest thing talking about right now in pro wrestling, in sports.
And they made everybody wait, man. And that's what I expected them to do.
And it fell flat, though.
It fell flat to you. It didn't fall flat to me.
No. Even
it didn't fall flat to me at all.
The references with the tie-ins and everything like that. Can we just?
They worked. They worked. They were great. It was a great promo. It was a good promo. It could have been longer, but he got his time cut. And again, I'd be pissed off at Bruce Pritchard, but again, he wasn't going to fucking get out there and get on AEW. The WWE doesn't acknowledge it, and I know the fans wanted it. I would have loved it, but I can't be mad that I didn't get it. And at the end of the day, man, again, when you know that big name's coming in, you make them wait. You make them wait, and that's what they did. The place went nuts for Orton.
But you make them wait, though, if you have something that's going to live up to that. I would have struck when the iron was hot.
Dude,
you start out Monday Night Raw, and
iron is scorching. The iron is scorching. How much hotter can the iron get? It hasn't cooled off.
But it came out scorching, and you dipped that shit in ice water.
No, you didn't, though. You didn't. If you think the fucking thing, to me, that's fickle fandom, where you think that one night cooled it off. You still have another 7 days, and he might be on SmackDown. He might be there Monday, and it's going to heat up all over again. There is no cooling off. He's the hottest fucking thing out there. Our channel just got over 11,000 clicks on a 7-second video of Punk running a circle in the fucking ring. That is his power. That is what Punk brings to the table. And at the end of the day, watered down, nothing. They do. They are capitalizing on it. Everybody wants more. It's like a good fucking appetizer. The first taste is free, and when we get into it, it's going to be good. He put the whole world on notice, and it cooled nothing off for me.
I'm going to touch on this right here real quick first, though. Love when KJ and Nick get into competitive banner mode. To me, though, it did damper it. I'm not saying, that's
fine.
The thing I go to, like, it's completely cooled it off. It ended it. None of that. To me, it's one of those strike when the iron's the hottest and everything like that. Fucking, if you've got the jetpack strapped to you, fucking ride that shit out.
But they
go with it. Like I said earlier, you can't tell me
the main event of the Raw.
Let me finish. You can't tell me going into Monday Night Raw with coming off of CM Punk returning, and you get told the first hour is going to be commercial free. You didn't expect it to be.
I did not expect it. Just because you did doesn't mean I have to.
The vast majority did.
No, that's what your opinion is, because you feel like the vast majority should feel that way, but that's not accurate. There was a good collection of people. And like I use the example of a Mick Foley, a Bully Ray, a Mark Henry, that all felt like they did it the way they should have done it. It was perfect.
I'm not saying don't give me it played out. I'm saying start off with the show with that. Give me the hook line. Give me it out the gate.
And then what's stopping you from just watching something else? I got my Punk fix. I'm going to leave.
You set it up to where he's going to bookend the back end of the fucking show or something like that.
Why?
There was no tying into Seth or anything.
Oh, so you don't have to tie it into Seth. He made his references. And we know this is where it's going. So cooling off, nothing cooled off, my guy.
So you wait until the end of the show when you get a quick-in segment and everything like that with a generic pay-per-view promo. What? I get the references. Everybody's holding their hat on that of that. Well, he made references. We get that. It still wasn't great.
It wasn't the bomb that it could have been. But him going last in the main event spot, just like a lot of the other main eventers do, I got no problem with it. Plus, you open the show with Orton. Plus, you got a great match from Orton. And
I've seen better Roman Reigns promos that people have been harsher on than this fucking CM Punk promo.
Why? He came out, he delivered his message to the world, he put WWE on notice, and here we go. Like, it wasn't a bad promo. It was not a bad promo. And again, we can argue this till we're blue in the face. Just because you didn't like it doesn't mean the vast majority of people did not like it. That's just because you didn't like it doesn't mean it's.
I will stand up for the voice of the voice.
He is the voice of the voiceless, and the voiceless are losing their voice screaming over this guy. Nothing changed. He did not cool off. He is not like I said, I went off last night on JD from New York. Oh, well, he's just a puppet, and this is what a waste. It's over. It's ruined. Fuck that shit. If anyone out there is thinking Monday night killed CM Punk, they're not paying attention. Not you, him. Now, overall, again, he hasn't cooled down at all. It doesn't ruin him. It makes everybody still asking fucking questions. And that's what you need from your fan base. They're going to keep tuning in, and they want to know what's next. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
I would rather have more talking points.
I had plenty
coming out of
clearly.
Let me finish. Coming out of this of where he's going, then why didn't we get that in the beginning? I'd rather be talking about where we're going than why do I not feel that great coming out of where we were?
What do you mean? I still feel great about it. So what does that tell you? Like, I still feel great about it. So what? So the fans that loved it, for all the fans that are tweeting it out, for all the impressions it's getting, for all the love he's getting, what cooling happened? What is not as hot anymore? What went wrong? Other than they teased everybody and the segment was a little shorter than it should have been.
That was some bland ass material though. And I get like there was a ton of us though. I will admit it is a bit of what I expected, but you can't tell me though that there wasn't a ton of us that expected him to come out and guns a-blazing and everything.
That's not his fault.
And then when you come out,
his fault. Right?
When he comes out and this is my home, and I get that I'm not one of those people that's, oh my God, lose my mind. That was clearly playing into the hypocrite line and everything like that.
I want happy.
This is just, I don't even know. Like, I don't know. I just don't want to slow play with this shit a little bit. Like, you can slow play and not.
We're on day 4.
I think we're no playing instead of slow playing.
They're not slow playing at all. Like, I mean, it's day 4 of his return, bro. Like, what? I don't get it. Like, again, because, and we've talked about this a million times, and you and I have had similar arguments. Just because we expect it doesn't mean the wrestler's obligated to do it. And the place went nuts for him, and they will continue to go nuts for him. And when they set up him and Seth, which I believe they are, they'll dig in a little harder. The promos will get a little more intense. But he's the biggest happy baby face right now. He came out, he smiled, the crowd went nuts. There was no reason for him to come out spewing venom. He won. He won. He's sitting on the biggest cloud of all of them. He won. So we got to do a victory lap that actually meant something. And it was beautiful. And I'm good with it. I
Fair
don't
enough.
think it went
Well,
away.
I'll let you take your victory lap. I was going to click through some of the comments talking about what we said and everything. Yes,
Yeah.
I wanted a pipe bomb. Yes, I did 100%.
Yeah.
And I feel like I am not alone.
You're
Even though
not.
I've been painted in this picture that I was alone
You're
on
not
this.
alone.
I'm not alone.
You're not
that
alone.
wanted that.
You're not alone. And I said that. That's fine. But people being mad that they didn't get a pipe bomb doesn't mean it's PG Punk. It doesn't mean it's shitty Punk. It means it was one night. And someone, like I said, JD was, if first impressions mean something, it's CM fucking Punk. He's made his impression. He made 71 million impressions. So let's not get it twisted, folks. He just reintroduced himself.
But you couldn't have. So okay, but so then if what he did there was so great, you couldn't have started the show off with that.
You make everybody wait. You make
But
everybody.
if it's so great, then you give people 2 hours to talk about it.
Why would you start the
If
show
you're
off
going to
with?
sell them on Monday Night Raw instead of you're going to sell them
Are
to
you
build
not?
to get to that.
Are you
If,
not?
if that's so
Are you-
big, if that's your moment, then you go with
Is-
that. You come out the gate
No,
hot.
are you not constantly critical of Tony Khan for opening the show with the best thing he's got?
Yes, but goddamn it, I'm a fight.
Oh, yes!
Johnny Cochran, goddamn it.
Yeah. All right. Well, the people who need to go to bed. I need to go to bed, but I personally don't like Punk. But the dude kept almost two.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
No.
Two people tuned in. Almost two people apparently tuned in for 3 hours to see what he was going to say, and if he was going to take shots at AEW, WWE knew what they were doing. I agree. People like Luna Havoc watched an entire Raw this week because the CM Punk was on it. They didn't just watch the first 15 minutes and then tune out. If CM Punk was on the beginning, Luna would have went to bed.
Can we agree though on this of everybody that's like just hating Monday Night Raw? Of like, we'll see, we got nothing, bullshit Monday Night Raw, and then all this. Like, I'll go back and forth with you 100% about how I feel about the whole Punk situation, everything. But in between that, was it a bad Monday Night Raw? It was kind of what we expected.
It was a great Monday Night Raw.
Right, but everybody was. I'm saying the vast majority of the people, like you said, that tuned into Monday Night Raw just to see CM Punk, just wanted to hate it because, again, we go back to hate watching is a thing that only exists in pro wrestling.
Yeah, and again, I think we too often think that like the social media represents a bulk of the fan base, especially with WWE. It's such a unique fan base, but I think at the end of the day, they did what they had to do. I mean, we got Randy Orton. We had that whole scene with Mommy. We had R-Truth come back. Ivar and Bronson Reed was a barn burner. Two big beefy boys went all out. We had the tag team turmoil. There was a lot on that show. And again, I get it. People saying, I hate Raw, it's 3 hours. We all hate those 3 hours. But it was a good Raw. It was a solid Raw, and it had an epic finish. I can't wait for the next one.
As I'm a fan that Daddy's back, pause.
Right.
I do also have in a shopping cart somewhere of big meaty boys slapping meat t-shirt.
Right. Honestly.
We need that in our merch store, god damn it.
I gotta check and make sure it's not property of someone.
I don't give a shit.
I do.
You still need a wrestling rules everything around me.
Yeah, that's again in production. Was the best Monday Night Raw I've seen in a long time, says Damien.
Okay. It was the highest rated Monday Night Raw since the Mania after 39.
Yeah. So back to my point, that's why CM Punk was the main event of Raw, because it was your highest view Raw in how long?
But if he's your main event, are you not making sure you almost give this man extra time instead of having to cut this man's time?
Yes. Listen, Bruce and Randy Orton's match and shit went a bit long. I can't atone for that. Bruce probably felt bad and had to say sorry to some people. But at the end of the day, man,
we just walked up to Punk and said, I love you.
Right? Like Punk was like, my first day back. And he's like, I feared for my life.
Fuck my shit up already.
And I did, you know what? We overlooked the fact that he mentioned I'm the most feared man in wrestling. That's a shot that I think a lot of people overlooked.
Well, and see, that's the thing is I get the shots that this man took. And I know it's a guilty pleasure. And I'll admit that I'm a victim of even like what you said in our clip that went around and everything, why we were pausing for the cause, thinking we were going to show up on Monday Night Raw. When you're out there, be greedy. I was greedy in wanting his return of just give me the pipe bomb, Punk. Give me the idiotic daughter and this doofus son-in-law.
It's never coming. There will be some pipe bombs dropped on a Seth, on a Roman, but as far as AEW goes, Triple H doesn't believe their competition, so he doesn't acknowledge them.
That is also some people saying that's the coldest response of you so insignificant. I don't even got to acknowledge you.
Yeah, that's what I found funny with the internet response, Nick, of the entire world. Punk finally took the high road in a situation, and everybody hated it.
Yeah, you take the high road, and I'll take the low road.
When he got fired,
the fans to hate me before.
Yeah. when he was going through the firing of AEW, and me and you were like, why couldn't he just shut up? Why couldn't he just let Jungle Boy walk by and ignore him? Be the bigger man. He comes to WWE and he's like, I am the bigger man, and everyone's like, fuck this guy.
Everyone loves petty Punk. That's what it is. I like that though from Daniel saying, big meaty men slapping beards in ass. That's what we need on a t-shirt.
Big beardy men slapping meat.
Pause.
Or big meaty men slapping beards.
I want an Anthony shirt with the hat apocalypse.
I like it.
Or what was it that you were calling it?
The hat attack.
The hat attack. Yeah. That's what we need. We need a hat attack, and it's an Anthony shirt. There we go.
Yeah.
Anthony's first shirt coming on the merch store. The hat attack.
Though I love the fact that we've brought up a very nice heated debate between the two companies. But I will say this, folks, love the wrestling. We're being spoiled. AEW just sold 24,000 tickets to Wembley next year already. I'm happy. Tonight's Dynamite was good. I give it a 7. I gave NXT higher. I'm sorry, but it was. But overall, tonight went fast. We had several good matches. The main event was good. Didn't love the ending. Overall, I mean, it's been a good week. It's been a good week.
What we do, and 100% is, even with arguments, is we're arguing over a wealth of riches when it comes to being a pro wrestling fan. Literally, we're splitting hairs of, oh my God, they didn't give us the best Punk that we wanted, but we still have CM Punk right now in WWE.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be good. And this talk about, well, they gave him a special behavior clauses. No, that's a company code of conduct that everybody gets on. Stop trying.
He's just out there foaming at the mouth.
Like, if they felt they had to give him special rules, they wouldn't have brought him back. The conversation between him and Triple H was very much of, listen, man, I'm old, I'm tired, I don't want to work with kids. Can we make some money?
Well, and that's very fitting for everyone that believed the whole stories and everything from the dirt sheets that WWE was at the point that they don't need CM Punk. So if I don't need CM Punk, what do I need to put a fucking behavior clause in his contract?
Yeah.
But now, I'm signing you knowing on the fact that you're going to straighten up and act right.
He's going to be fine. He went into AEW with an open heart and really wanted to do good things. A lot of people that get over better than the people who are the core of the company get pushed out. And that's all. So at the end of the day, guys, enjoy the wrestling. Remember, like Mick Foley says, it's a marathon, not a sprint. I almost got that back.
This man's going to keep quoting this fucking.
Well, I'm going to hold it in my back pocket forever. I love Mick.
Now you're going to just rub the salt in the wound because of when my wife got the picture with Mick.
Yeah. So shout out to Mick Foley and Mrs. Big Nick.
Mick Foley, the biggest fan of the stream and the biggest hater wrestler by me, apparently.
But folks, love the wrestling. We will have Impact tomorrow. It's a special show. Luna Havoc and Anthony will be here. That stream will go up. We're having some trouble tracking down details.
Friday, Southpaw Regional Impact Wrestling will be here tomorrow night.
It's something like that.
All right.
It's perfect. Yeah, it's Canadian.
It's provocative. No one knows what it means, but it gets the people going.
Live from Toronto. But thank you all for being here. We just hit 3K. We just set the record for the most viewed month we've ever had. We just set the record for the most watch time ever in a month. We are clicking milestones left, right, and center. And it's always a pleasure to sit here and argue in front of all y'all. I'm done.
Our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is authentic. When you're talking about the wrestling, but to put that for life with it. This is when I start doing this, and I can kind Can I move as my green screen moves?
See you on the flip side, folks. Have a good night. We're going to go find a phone booth.